Yeah. They asked me who I am, I told them I'm an Israelite. That's right, I'm an Israelite. They asked me where I'm from, I told them you can pick a side. We worldwide, I'm an Israelite. Whether through scripts or history, no, I can show you. In the army of Yahuwah's oh boy, I'm a soldier. They asked me who I am, I told them I'm an Israelite. That's right, I'm an Israelite. When I say Israelite, they say you Jewish. Look, don't be foolish. Come get a dose of this mental renewing. See how we brew it, it's just different. Like, for instance, first thing to know, bro, it's a culture, no religion. Talking the bloodline, they say we Jacob children. And yeah, that's a factor, but what really matter, how we living? Given that we gotta get Beseda, that mean in order. For that we got that Torah, some brothers we got Basora. Of course, and some don't believe, but that don't matter today. I ain't trying to throw no shade, as long as we all stay in the way. That 613, we coolin' like palm trees. Look up with that yacht, yeah, ain't no fam, know what I mean? They asked me who I am, I told them I'm an Israelite. That's right, I'm an Israelite. They asked me where I'm from, I told them you can pick your side. We worldwide, I'm an Israelite. Whether through scripts or history, no, I can show you. In the army of Yahuwah's oh boy, I'm a soldier. Yeah, they asked me who I am, I told them I'm an Israelite. That's right, I'm an Israelite.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Muted right now, Prince. Let me take you off mute for you. Go ahead. Oh, he's still on mute. Well, until he gets off mute, Shabbat shalom, everyone. Welcome to the second half of our service. This is the Torah sharing portion of the service. We're trying to implement new things. Prince spoke on it in the beginning. Princess spoke on it earlier this morning. We're going to bring it to y'all, bring some music, bring some clarity. Did anyone have anything they wanted to say? Prince, Princess, I think you're on mute now, Prince. There you go. Floor is yours, Prince. All right.
I was just singing this song, man.
He's still for some reason.
Much like?
No, good.
What'd you say? You can't hear me, Roche?
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just jamming to the music, that's all.
Is everyone talking? I can't hear you all. You all talking?
Can't. Go ahead, Abba.
All right.
You know what? Forgive me, you all. Go ahead.
Can you be heard,
Go ahead.
Roche?
Yes, I can hear you all now. That was my fault. I got to get back used to this. It's been a while since I went into my, professional DJing thing. So go ahead, Selagli.
No, do your thing, man. It's time to go. Okay, this is our second portion of class, right? Right?
You're breaking up, babe. You're going in and out.
I'm going in and out. Prayer time.
Okay.
Anybody want to open up something?
With prayer?
Yes.
I could do it.
Am I still going
Yes.
in and out?
Yes. I'll open up with prayer.
Well, hold up. If I'm going in and out, then it might be a problem. Okay,
Oh,
go ahead and do the prayer.
You're better now. You're better now.
All right, don't open the prayer yet. Hold on 1 second. After you hit it so far, 3 times.
Boy, him and his shofar.
After the shofar blows 3 times, then you open up.
O Heavenly Father, we humble ourselves, we prostrate ourselves as we come before you, begging for your permission to approach to your holy throne. Torah Rabbah Most High, for allowing us to come before you, for allowing us to have the words, the time, and the acknowledgement to ask for you, O Most High, to guide our tongues, guide our mind, guide our bodies, and guide our spirit, O Most High. Most High, we ask that you forgive us for any sins and iniquities that we have done unto you, unto ourselves, and unto one another. Most High, we ask that you forgive us for coming to you in any form of uncleanliness, O Most High, on this day. Most High, we give thanks to you for allowing us to come together and congregate in the many different ways that we're able to come forward through all the different streamlines, O Most High, that has been provided. Most High, we ask that you be with all those who are shut in the sick houses, in the prison houses unjustly, O Most High. We ask that you be with the unsheltered, O Creator. We ask that you be with the fatherless and the widow, O Most High. Most High, if it be your will, free those who are innocent, heal the sick, and cover those who are in need, O Most High. Most High, we ask that you be with each and every one of our families, O Most High, those who we represent, O Most High, unto you. We ask that you be with the elders of our families, O Creator. Allow them to have a long life, O Most High, and allow us to sit at their feet and gain the wisdom that they possess, O Most High. O Most High, we ask that you be with the babies, O Creator, those who are coming and those who have already arrived, O Most High. Bless them, O Most High, so that they may be sponges and learn righteously how to walk and do your laws and statutes, O Most High. Most High, we ask that you be with all of our children, O Creator, the younger ones and the adult ones, O Most High. Walk with them, O Most High. Be with them when we're not able to be with them, O Most High. Hold their hand, O Creator. Even when they go astray, O Most High, pull them back forward, O Most High. Most High, we ask that you watch over all those who are on their ways to different places to honor, to glorify, and praise your high and holy name, O Most High. Watch us on the highways and the byways, O Most High. O Most High, be with us in the different places that we dwell, O Creator. Allow the roof that we live under, O Most High, to stay intact, O Most High, from any storms or rain, O Creator. Keep us, O Most High, forever in your path, O Most High, of righteousness. Most High, continue to be with us on the Beulah land, O Creator. Watch over us, O Most High, even though it may be few of us, it's many of us in heart, O Creator. And we ask that you walk with us. Protect the gates, O Most High, that we have placed around us. Keep us, O Most High, in your sanctuary. Most High, we ask for a special prayer, O Most High, for my Ish, O Most High, as he continues to lead us, O Most High, in the words that you have bestowed upon him to be a leader, O Creator. O Most High, we ask for you to be with our other teacher, O Most High, Moray, Chief Roche, O Most High. Allow him to continue to guard and build his house, O Most High. O Most High, we thank you for all of those who are in the listening audience, O Creator. We ask, O Most High, that they gain something from every lesson, every word that is taught, O Most High, that they walk away feeling lifted, O Most High, feeling full of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, O Creator. We ask that, O Most High, if there's any questions, O Creator, that they are presented, O Most High, because no question is a stupid question. All questions should be asked for better understanding and clarity, O Creator. O Most High, we ask that you continue to bless this day, O Most High, this Shabbat day. We ask, O Most High, I ask, O Most High, for a special blessing for my daughter, O Creator, our daughter, Ezekiel, O Most High, for her 15th year around the sun, O Most High, for allowing her to see so many things, O Most High, and allowing her to persevere through life, O Most High. Continue to strengthen her, guide, shield, and protect her. Continue to give her the wisdom, O Most High, to know who you are and to call on you in her time of need, most importantly, O Most High, and to call on you and glorify you through all her triumphs and victories, O Most High. O Most High, we ask for a special blessing for all those who hear our prayer. And we ask for you, O Most High, to continue to be with each and every one of us on this day and every day. Toda Rabbah, Most High. Toda Abi, Abi, Toda Rabba, Sila.
Rosh. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our second half. And I'm going to turn it over to Rosh so he can start this portion here. Family, what we do is we give our commandments. Everybody give a commandment, and then you give your interpretation of the matter. And you may be questioned about it. You may be asked for clarity. And then I'll give a little bit of understanding. May the Most High be praised. Let's move forward.
Can you all hear me? Shabbat Shalom. All right. So I'm going to try to go in the order that I saw people coming in. Of course, leaving Prince, saving him for last. Princess, would you happen to have your scripture for us today that you would like to expound on and give us your thoughts on, if you can, please? You're muted. I know you said a lot. You're muted already.
I was saying I was still in the process of looking through mine. If you're able to go to the next person, I'll be ready when they're done.
Besader.
Toda Rabba.
All right. Let's go. Amona, would you happen to have yours? All right, let's go ahead and go with you with yours. I'm going to turn my mic off whenever you're ready.
Shalom, shalom, makulam.
Shabbat Shalom.
My commandment is going to be coming from Deuteronomy 6, or Devarim 6 and 7. Well, I have to read. Is it okay if I read a couple verses up? That way you all can get the 7.
Devarim's, what is it?
6. I'm going to just do 4 through 7. All right. Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Yisrael, Adonai, our power, Adonai is one. And you are to love Adonai, your power, with all your heart, and all your being, and all your resources. These words which I am ordering you today are to be on your heart. And this is the key verse, verse 7. And you are to teach them carefully to your children. I'm going to stop there. I chose this first because I believe it's very important. It's very key that we teach our children, whether you have Yeladim or bonus Yeladim, or even if you're expecting. I believe that it's important that you recite the Torah day and night so you can already get a foundation for the Yeladim. It is crazy how much of the world's entertainment is being pushed to the babies and even to our young adults, and it's being forced on them, especially if they're in public school. And my thing is, if you have children in public school and you walk this walk, that you do your due diligence to teach them as much as possible, because at least if they have a foundation of what our forefathers, foremothers, and who the Most High is in their life, they will have a head start. So when they go to school or they go wherever, they'll already know right from wrong and what not to indulge in. Because it's some wickedness out here, and it is really taking hold of the babies, like a lot, just too much. And if that's the only thing that they're hearing when they're young, they're going to be over inundated with wickedness. And then by the time they're older, of course, people change. They have the opportunity to change, but at least give them a head start of righteousness. So when they're older, they have the ability to choose, and they're not just literally showered with it. So I like that commandment because it tells you You have no choice but to teach your sons and your daughters this way of life, as you lie down, as you go about, so that they'll know what is the key foundation for their lives, especially if they go somewhere else. Zehu, Shabbat Shalom.
Torah, may the Most High be praised. Torah, very good commandment. We gotta deal with our children, and we have to install them and equip them with the proper things in life, so that they will be well-rounded in all that they do, so that they can teach others when they grow. They can teach others as they grow. They can teach others when they arrive to a position of leadership, or just even a common person sitting in the audience. They have to be fully equipped and know what it is they're speaking of. May the Most High be praised. Torah.
All right. That's what else, yeah. All right. All right. Appreciate that commandment, Ishti. And we're going to go ahead and move along with the next person that we have. And I'm going to go with Gabaret Autumn. Do you have your? All right. Got your scripture ready. The floor is yours.
Shalom. My commandment is from Wayikra chapter 25, verse 47 through 55. And that's Leviticus. Hopefully I said that right. Wayikra. Okay, so it reads, now if a sojourner or a stranger close to you becomes rich, and one of your brethren who dwells by him becomes poor, and sells himself to the stranger or sojourner close to you, or to a member of the stranger's family. After he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brothers may redeem him, or his uncle's son may redeem him, or anyone who is near of kin to him in his family may redeem him. Or if he is able, he may redeem himself. Thus he shall reckon with him who bought him. The price of his release shall be according to the number of years from the year that he was sold to him until the year of Jubilee. It shall be according to the time of a hired servant for him. If there are still many years remaining, according to them, he shall repay the price of his redemption from the money which he was bought. And if there remain but a few years until the year of Jubilee, then he shall reckon with him, and according to his years, he shall repay him the price of his redemption. He shall be with him as a yearly hired servant, and he shall not rule with rigor over him in your sight. And if he is not redeemed in these years, then he shall be released in the year of Jubilee, he and his children with him. For the children of Israel are servants to me. They are my servants, whom I brought out of the land of Egypt. I am the creator, your power. So I think what makes the thing that I think of in this verse is, first, why would the brother sell himself to a stranger rather than his own brother or his Hebrew neighbor? That's just the first thing that I thought of. But that happens. Clearly, it happens. Scripture gives us what instructions on what to do when that happens. But that's the first thing that I thought of. Like, I wonder why this person or a brother or whoever did this sold themselves to this stranger rather than their own Hebrew brother. But nevertheless, this is what this law is about. And I liked how the Most High definitely put in there that whoever is ruling over your brother, or who is the master of your brother at that time, shall not rule over them harshly in your sight. They cannot do that. They cannot treat this Hebrew person who sold themselves to be their servant for a period of time. They cannot rule over that person in a harsh way at all in your sight. And that makes me think of the other commandment, which I think is in Wayikra as well, the one that talks about if a servant runs away, then you are to keep them and treat them well as well, because they're obviously running away for abuse or whatever it is. But that makes me think of that law as well. But I like how the Most High says, not only that, this person can't rule over your brother harshly in your sight, but he is to be redeemed. So if the person who sold themselves to the stranger doesn't have the means to redeem themselves, then they basically are a servant up until the year of Jubilee. And if they're not released, if no one buys them, if his kin, if his close of kin, or I think that's all it says, yeah, uncles and a close of kin has not bought him back before the year of Jubilee, the year of Jubilee is absolutely the time where he is to be released no matter what. And I like that the Most High gives that time of rest and release for us. There's also the same law for the land, which is in the same chapter earlier in the chapter, but I chose to focus on this because it speaks about how to deal with strangers, how strangers should deal with you. And then it talks about how you should look after your brother, even though he still is a servant to a stranger. He still should not be treated harshly at all whatsoever. But hopefully that law will not have to come into play really ever. Because again, I would hope that our brothers would sell, if you have to give yourself to your brother for a period of time, I would hope that it would be to your brother and not to a stranger, because strangers rule their house differently than Hebrews do. So that is my explanation.
All right. Very well. May Most High be praised. Torah. There's so much to unpack in what has been said. He said a lot of stuff. Is what the scriptures say about your brother. Y'all know I want to let that slide. See, the person that's going to care after you, when it says your brother, it's just not talking about your biological brother. It's talking about the person's best interest in their heart. See what I'm saying? And if your brother fell upon hardship, then your Israelite brother out for him to the degree that if your Israelite brother had to sell himself into slavery to an outsider, to a stranger, an outsider, Israel by birth, but yet he might live amongst us. If individual, because maybe you couldn't afford it. Maybe you couldn't take the weight up and help your brother out. But your brother is your brother. You got to make sure that he's treated with dignity and respect. That's the least that you can do. Make sure he is treated with dignity and respect. It reminds me of the story of Moshe. He saw an Egyptian smite a Hebrew. That was his brother. Moshe knew he was Hebrew. A little movies y'all watch say one thing. Remember the story when Pharaoh's daughter took Moshe and Pharaoh's daughter raised Moshe as his own. She sought out wet nurse to breastfeed Moshe. Miriam was there. Miriam went and got the mother and brought the mother back to be the wet nurse. So she raised Moshe up. His mother raised him. He knew he was Hebrew. Okay? So when Moshe was out and he saw the Egyptian smite his brother, his Hebrew brother, what Moshe did was he looked, he didn't see nobody looking, he slew the Egyptian. And then he buried the Egyptian. Sometimes you just might have to go out on that level for your brother. Moshe went really, really far out by doing so. He went to the extremes by doing so. But that's how intense, if you offend my brother, that's how intense it was to Moshe. He smite the Egyptian. He smit the Hebrew. He hit the Hebrew. He hit the Hebrew. He punched the Hebrew. Kicked the Hebrew. Whatever he did to the Hebrew, you don't touch the Most High's people. And Moshe took it that serious that that Egyptian died for putting his hands on an Israelite. Well, we need some brothers today. That's what we need, some brothers and some sisters today. So that's a very good law. Even if you're not able to redeem your brother up front, look after your brother by making sure that knows your brother. That's what we have to keep in mind. You know, it's easy to do biological family, but do it also with the Israelite family. You know, that Israel, you as an Israelite like you, it should touch your heart first thing. And you should give them the opportunity to show who they are. And once they show who they are, you accept it. If they show it for good, then you accept it for good. If they show it for bad, then you accept it for bad and just walk away. May the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah. Very good commandment.
All right, all right. Next on the list, we have Princess Medaya. Atmuchana Aksha. You ready now?
Okay, honey, Paul. I will be reading Leviticus Vayikra, chapter 17, verse 10 through 12. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Yisrael, or of the strangers that sojourn among them, that eateth any manner of blood, I will set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh atonement by reason of the life. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. So, yeah. Basically, we know that it's basically telling us we cannot eat the blood. So if we, which a lot of us do eat animals, whatever animal you eat, we're not supposed to eat the blood in the animal. So that means we have to, once the animal is slaughtered, then you have to let it drain appropriate amount of time to get the blood out. And then you have to allow it to soak for a while as well to help to get the blood out. But honestly, I think I think there's always still blood in an animal, because you still have veins in the animal. There's other portions of the animal that you can't get every crevice of blood out of an animal. But you do your best, and the Most High gives you instructions on how to get that done. But so the whole preference is also that you just don't purposely eat the blood of an animal. So we don't eat raw food. When you go to restaurants and they be like, do you want it raw, rare, medium rare? You know, a lot of other type of people, they'll eat it rare, medium rare, and we be like, well done, meaning like crispy. Or even eating like what do you call that? Sushi, like raw fish. You know, all that stuff is forbidding, you know, loto by the Most High's commandment, because all that stuff has blood in it. And we just don't eat that. Also, it tells us not even the stranger or the person that sojourns with us. So if we invite somebody into our dwelling and they catch something and just start eating it, we have to let them know, no, we don't do that here. This isn't, you know, because them doing that brings a punishment amongst us, because they're with us and we know better. So we're supposed to teach them to do better. There's a couple other things in here I saw, can't think of it right now, but basically he did say, you know, you'll be cut off, and that's from the face of him, from amongst our people. So we don't want to be cut off. So we want to be mindful of what we eat. And I didn't want to read like this whole from 10 to 16, but when you get a chance, read 13 to 16, because it goes into it about eating things that died of itself and what happens and all the different things that we're not supposed to do that people do all the time. So we have to be mindful even when we go to restaurants, even if they don't ask us how we want it done. We don't know how well they cook that food. We could go get a chicken wing and it still has blood in it because we don't know how well they cooked it, and then we don't know if it died of itself. It's all these different things that we have to pay attention to and be knowledgeable of. And you find a lot of Israelites be like, I just don't eat out because of these things, because of these reasons. So yeah, just reading that whole chapter just had me think about a lot of different things of the things we do on purpose, and then things we do accidentally. And then we know that the Most High holds us for all our sins, knowingly and unknowingly. So it's our charge to be effective and pay attention to what we're doing, and not eat the blood, of an animal. But one thing I did, he said, life is in the blood. Did you just do that? The life is in the blood. And we do know that, like, when we think about if there's no blood in you, there's no life. So if we're eating the blood of an animal or of anything, we're eating the life of that person. And that means we're taking on the characteristics of that animal or other diseases, anything. So we have to be very mindful of that as well. So, Torah Rabah.
Shabbat Shalom, Torah Rabbah, may the Most High be praised. I did go, but that wasn't for you. I was scratching my head. It felt so good to scratch my head. I had to let it out. Felt good. And you had me intense over here waiting to talk about some of the stuff you just covered. First, you mentioned that if you get a piece of chicken and you fry it, it still may be some blood in it, but you mentioned the part that we ain't got no business eating chicken anyway, because chicken is unclean. We, as an Israelite, should be keeping the laws of the Creator, and we shouldn't be eating chicken. Chicken is unclean. So any of that's in my audience, and you can hear what I'm saying, chicken are unclean animals. You should not be eating chicken, period. They give it to you, do the research on chicken, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, since you heard that, now go research it. And if you don't, then now it's between you and the Most High. Now, I was watching a class the other day, Chief Shammah from New York. And I just happened to watch up his class. It came down with a feed, and I jumped on it, and I had to jump on the phone and call my brother because the class was nice. Now, in this class, they happen to be talking about this commandment that you're talking about now, Ishi. And that commandment that they was talking about was about eating things with the blood in it. A lot of people will eat meat, those who do eat meat, and they don't get the blood out of it. What I mean by that? A lot of us think that if we take a piece of meat and put it on the stove and cook it, then that's cooking the blood out, but it's not. It's not. All you're doing is cooking the blood. What you're supposed to do, if you read the law says don't eat meat with blood in it. It don't mean don't eat it raw. It says get the blood out of the meat. A lot of people think that it means if you well done, if you do it real good, then that means the blood is out, but it doesn't. The meat has to go through a process prior to you cooking it. Most people don't take the meat through a process before they cook it. They take it out the refrigerator, they might rinse it off, they might even soak it in water, and then they take it out and they batter it up and they frying it. Well, the blood is still in it. All you're doing is frying the blood, so you're still eating the meat. If you ever go to a real kosher restaurant or someone who really tries to keep this law, you will see that they soak that meat in salt water for no less than 24 hours. Many hours they soak it in salt water because salt will pull the blood out of the meat. Then you take that meat and you rinse it off, you batter it up, and you fry it. So most people who are in this way of life who say that they're not eating the blood when they eat meat, they're incorrect, because the meat carries the blood until you soak it through a process to get the blood out of the meat. So we have to be mindful of that. You just can't go take a turkey and cut a turkey up, rinse it underneath some water, and then throw it in there and think you're not eating the blood. Yeah, you cooking the blood. So by you cooking the blood, you're still eating the blood. And you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to change the constitution of the blood and then eat it. You're supposed to pull the blood out of the meat. That's what the Creator says needs to be done. But we don't do it. So keep that in mind, family, the next time that you decide you want a piece of red meat or white meat or however they claim it to be, or fish, and you decide you just want to eat it, fry it, bake it, and you don't take it through its proper procedures to draw all the blood out. Because you're required by law as an Israelite to draw the blood out of the meat before you eat it, because you cannot consume meat with the blood in it. So yes, Ishi, that was a very good commandment. You hit it right on the head. And leave the chicken alone, family. Leave the chicken alone, because chicken is unclean. Keep that in your spirit. Do the research. Look it up. We don't even allow chicken. We have feasts and events now. We don't even bring chicken. We'll give you some lamb. We'll give you anything. I'd rather give you some beef than give you some chicken. But I'd rather not give you nothing but an apricot sandwich, some fruit sandwiches. All right. That's right. The innocent blood of Abel cried out to the Creator. You're absolutely right there, bro. All right. That's it. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
Allah Akbar.
All right.
Very
you all
good
hear me?
job. Very good job.
All right. Next we have Gebert or Zakena Tusilia. Do you have your verse available? Oh. Yeah, we have a lot of feedback, Zakena Tusilia. Let's go ahead and try while you get that worked out.
You got. Yeah, she's going to come back and do it again. All right, sis.
Let's try Gebert Onit. Gebert Onit, do you have your scripture available?
Okay. I just wanted to say that I will definitely have my camera and my phone ready to go next Shabbat. Sleek eye, it got damaged. Okay, so last week I brought up a scripture that I was curious about, it was a commandment, and we got so caught up and I forgot to bring it up to get clarification on it. So I'm going to read this commandment, but I just want to get the understanding and the clarification on the commandment.
Well, that is
So,
a good way of saying, I don't know if I can interpret this, but I want to say it anyway. Okay. Let's go, sis. I got it.
my commandment's coming from Bereshit, or Genesis 32 and 32, and it reads, "Therefore, the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh and the sinew that shrank." Oh, yes.
You still there, sis?
Okay, and I'm still here.
A bit like, I'll bother you like this. Where's the commandment at in that you just read?
I suppose it's when it's talking about the children of Israel don't eat a certain, I guess, a certain.
Where's the commandment? That's not a commandment. The Creator shall not offense. Okay, let's deal with the scripture. Then you got to find me a commandment, all right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
Cain.
Right.
Cain.
Now, the answer to that question is this. He's speaking of a custom of our people. The sign is a piece of the meat, the piece of the bone, but it's not a bone. It's like almost like a clear piece of almost thing look like wax. That bone and the mouth it's a like a bone that sits there, but it's not a bone like the regular bone, a thick hard bone. It's that hard to
Cartilage.
describe. Do anybody? You want to say cartilage? Okay, then I'll say cartilage. But what's being explained is that therefore they don't eat it. But I don't know nobody will eat that anyway. I don't. I don't know nobody eat that part of the animal anyway. But I think you might have another commandment.
Cain. Can you hear me?
Cain, we can.
Achnuya Kalim. Achnuya Kalim.
Okay.
Okay. Shalom. Can y'all hear me?
Cain, now I can hear you.
Cain, now I can hear you.
My other commandment
I can
ready.
hear you. Commandment ready. Hold up a second, sis. I gotta say something. I thought it was my computer earlier, but it wasn't because I'm on a totally different device and I'm having the same problem. So some kind of attack has been.
I actually got the
Being
notification.
black screens. That's it.
I actually got the notification.
But this is the same thing that happened on my other.
A notification that I received too is about Android. So I don't know who on here has an Android, but there's something going on. No shout out, no shade to the Androids, but all right. So we'll keep going. I think Prince is froze right now, so we'll keep moving until he returns. Can you all hear me? Am I going in and out?
Am I going in and out?
But I know it's an echo. Once Prince pulls up, it starts to echo. Is it echoing for everyone else as well? All right. Let's go ahead and keep going. Let's try. Did we close out the Beredonit's verse? Did you have another verse to bring out? Scripture to bring out?
Cain.
All right. Listen. Hamshik.
Hold on just 1 minute for me. My next commandment is going to be coming from Exodus 22 and 28. And it reads, "Thou shalt not revile the Most High, nor curse the ruler of thy people." This commandment made me think about what we spoke about last week, basically, when we read what happened to Miriam when she spoke against Moshe. And basically, my understanding of it is you don't come against the Most High's anointed. You don't talk about, gossip about, the Most High's anointed. Those things hold heavy consequences, you know. In today's times, there are leadership that may do certain things out in the public that seemingly may not necessarily be right or in alignment with the Creator. There are proper channels that we must take to raise those suspicions, basically. But to just outwardly gossip or bring down a brother or a sister in leadership, the Most High don't like that. So that's my commandment. We have to be careful.
Powerful, powerful, powerful commandment. This one, this concept, we forgot this concept. We forgot this structure. We actually don't even know of it. It's not a part of our culture today. And I believe it's because it's not being taught culturally. Respect has departed from us as Yisrael, and that's due to a lot of people being hurt, a lot of people feeling that they could do anything due to no consequences. Now, when we're looking at this scripture, when we're looking at the Tanakh and we're bringing out this instance that Geber Orni brought out, this is in the time where it was structure involved. It was accountability set. It was consequences with it, right? So they understood and they had a closer relationship with the Creator, as we were speaking of earlier. They understood the true power of the Most High. Today, we're not really understanding the true power of the Most High. We're looking at this as a fairy tale. We're looking at this as something to be just a part of. So speaking ill against leadership is easy because there's no consequences. Structure has not been put in place to where people respect and believe in it. People are losing hope or faith in Yisrael due to the many hurt and matters that we've been through. And that's due to, if we can really realize and really dissect the scripture, due to lack of structure. So it's a continued cycle that we're seeing that's causing us not even to hesitate to go against a leadership within Yisrael. So I appreciate that scripture. I don't know if Prince heard any of it, if he wants to comment on it, but that's my take on it. We're going to continue to see that. And it's only going to be a remnant. I always say this all the time, of a remnant that can respect leadership in the capacity that we see in our Torah or our Tanakh. It's not going to be a lot of us. And with that, I'm passing the floor to Prince on that commandment if he heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. Thank you very much. And very good breakdown on that, Roche. And sis, thank you for indulging us with another commandment. Wonderful job. And that what you brought forth was a great commandment. May the Most High be praised. That is a very serious commandment. And just as Roche pointed out earlier, a lot of people take no heed to it. But what we got to do, I think I touched a little bit on my lesson earlier today when I spoke about you got to be careful how you deal with people, because sometimes before people came into this way of life, they were some straight monsters, some really hideous people. They would do some stuff to you and not think twice about it. When they came into this way of life, they took on a different characteristics, a different personality, and they was able to bury or move aside some of those negative, I don't say bad, but negative emotions. And not negative in a sense like if it was destructive, but negative in the force where you cause a lot of harm to a lot of people unnecessarily. So a lot of people who speak out against leadership, if you ever notice, a lot of times Most High put a lot of people like that in positions of leadership because there's no fear in them. They don't have the fear that the regular person got, and they're willing to do whatever they got to do to make it happen for the people. So the Most High will use a lot of them. Look what he did for Moshe. Moshe, like I brought up earlier, was minding his business. He saw his brother get smacked, and he went and killed the man. How many of you are willing to do that today? You know what I mean? There's a certain type of character in people that the Most High sees that he puts in these positions. You better watch your mouth. And you might think you're getting away with it, but a wise person, a wise man, a real man that's really about it, that got too much to lose, ain't gonna just do something stupid so he can go get put away and locked up and slammed down somewhere where he's not able to feed the Creator's people. He ain't gonna move like that. He gonna move like he's supposed to move, with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But best be, you better keep in mind, the Most High's will be done. Believe me, the Most High's will be done. You might think you're getting away or you got away with it, and the people might be looking at that leader and not respecting him in the manner that they would normally if he would have cut your head off the first time you said something about him. But it'll come around. You'll see. Watch. The Most High don't play. You watch this king. He will have his way. Just be careful, family. Don't mess with people, because a lot of those people out there, this is why we got to be respectful to people, especially the strangers, because you don't know what these people been through to get where they are. I think the sister put that in the room today. You don't know where a lot of people have been to get where they are in life, and how many battles they've been through just to get them to that pleasant person that you see right before you when you're talking to them. So that's why you should be kind to everyone, share with everybody, and be nice to people, and don't disrespect anybody. And don't give anybody a reason to be disrespectful to you. All right? So yes, I agree with you, Roche. Totally. People, they don't really believe in the Most High, oftentimes. And that's what the real issue is. A lot of people don't really believe in the Creator, although they call themselves by the name of Israel, and they might wear fringes and go to the Shabbat service, house of worship. They don't really believe in the Creator. Like small example. What I could never understand, and I mean this with no disrespect to those that don't deserve this disrespect, but to all of you who deserve this disrespect, I'm talking to you. I could never understand how we can go to the house of worship today during Shabbat, every feast day and every holy day, and be singing the praise and worshiping the Most High. And then that same place that we worship the Most High in, later that night, we turn into a disco. And a lot of unclean people come into the place and do all kind of acts and disrespect the Creator's presence that's supposed to be in the house. I could never understand how we could do something like that. And a lot of people do that. There's a lot of people who have those, they say it's because they are raising money, but it's very disrespectful to the Father. They don't think like that, but they should. So in my mind, they don't really believe in the Creator. They don't really accept in the Creator. They don't really live this life like they should, because you would have never heard something like that taking place in the Beit HaMikdash. You'd have never heard something like that happening. Never. The Levites, all of a sudden, after the Shabbat is over, now Levites having a brothel in the sanctuary. And they getting it in. Or right underneath of the sanctuary in the basement, but in the same building. We would never move like that. But today, in this society, because people don't really respect the Creator, they don't really honor the Creator, and they definitely don't really trust the Creator. They do almost anything for their own pleasures. And that's what we got to get above. We got to get above doing things for our pleasure as opposed to separating ourselves and in our righteous, holy places. I mean, look at the word itself. Kadosh. Kadosh, 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 Most High Ziva'ot. What does that mean? What does the word Kadosh even mean? It's set apart. So is your house of worship set apart for the service of the Most High? Or is it only set apart for whatever you choose to use it for? Because that makes a difference. But your house of worship, if you really trust in the Most High, it should be set apart only for the service of the Most High, but not the general public in a disrespectful, nasty, heathenistic practice way. It shouldn't be done that way. So may the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah. Shalom, shalom.
All right. Appreciate that, Prince. Next up, we have Zakena Tucilia. Let's try this again.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Whew, I'll tell you. All right. My commandment today is taken from, okay, how do we say Deuteronomy? Devarim? Is it Devarim? Devarim.
Devarim or Devar. Some people do it with a V, but we say it with a D.
Devarim
Mm-hmm.
25, 1, 2, and I'm going to read 1, 2, and 3. All right. If there is a dispute between men and they come into the courts and the judges decide between them, acquitting the innocent and condemning the guilty, then if the guilty man deserves to be beaten, the judge shall cause him to lie down and be beaten in his presence with a number of stripes in proportion to his offense. 40 stripes may be given him and not more, lest if one should go on to beat him with more stripes than these, your brother be degraded in your sight. What I got from this is that when punishment or judgment is being dispensed for wrongdoing, the punishment must fit the crime. You should not go overboard with the punishment, because you should consider your brother even in when you're dispensing punishment, even if he's guilty. You need to consider him. You should not degrade him. And I think that the Most High is showing us that he cares about how we look in the eyes of people, and also in the eyes of others. Even if we're guilty of crime or guilty of something that we did that was wrong, those who are responsible for dispensing judgment or punishment should not go overboard. As I said before, the punishment must fit the crime. That's my take on that.
Very good. Very good take, sis. That's a very good commandment, and you gave a very good explanation of it. The punishment must fit the crime, and yes, the Most High have compassion on his people. This brings to mind something that I used to teach many, many years ago. And I'd like to run it past you all, let you see what it says, and let you get an idea of what happened. So the children of Israel were sent into captivity because of a punishment, because we refused to obey the Creator. So he sent us into captivity, and he allowed the Europeans to hurt us, destroy us, to beat us, and to kill us. Well, if the Europeans was doing what the Most High allowed them to do, why is the Most High going to bring destruction on them? What did they do wrong? They did what you just mentioned, sis. They overdid it. They went over and beyond diminishing their punishment upon us. The Pope wrote a treaty. He called it the Treaty of Papal Bull. The Treaty of Papal Bull allowed the Europeans to go into Africa to pull out a certain slave and sell them as slaves. Now, with that Treaty of Papal Bull, it didn't mention the type of punishment and harsh cruelty that they would give us. But the Pope allowed it to be. The Pope is the European man. He allowed it to be. The other Europeans got together, brought us here, and they treated us despicably. Despicably. It wasn't as bad when they had us as slaves, but they went overboard with the cruelty that they displayed to the Most High's people. So the sister, she brought out this great law where the Most High says, if a man has done a sin or a crime and he's to be punished, you should give him 40 lashes, but no more. And her explanation was because the Creator really don't want us to overdo it, that the punishment must fit the crime. But they...
Can I add something else?
Yes, sis.
The fact that he said that we're actually degrading our brother in our eyes. So even if we're doing dispensing judgment, we should do it with integrity always. Not to overdo it so that our brother looks really, really the punishment must serve him. When we overdo it, we're trying to what should I say? We're trying to get to his dignity, right? And when we're doing those things, we're supposed to be concerned about our brother's welfare still, even if the wrong was done against us. We should not seek
annihilation.
Yeah, we should not seek to degrade him to the point that in our eyes, in his eyes, in the eyes of our even his family, that he's put down. So that should tell us something about the way we punish our children too. The way we punish our families or our children. We should not overdo it either.
Very good, sis. Very good. And she brought out a whole lot with that commandment.
Can I say one more thing? Sorry.
Yes, sis.
I was reading about the curses and the punishment, the blessings and the curses, and what I gathered from reading that, it's like when Moses was listing the blessings and the curses, I counted 10 blessings, but the curses were like a mile long. I mean, it was like double, triple. And I think it's because the Creator he allowed it, but he turned us over to our enemies. And he's showing us that if we disobey the law, these curses are going to come upon us. And it is our enemies who are going to be putting be used to put these curses on us. And the way they do it, they're just severe. They go overboard. And so he wanted us to know how merciful he is when he is, and how his goodness is when he's given us to choose between blessings and curses. Because it's not going to be well with us. And then he said that even with the curses, he says he's going to bring us back. If we return, if we realize what we're doing and return to him, he will hear us. Lest these people think that they're the ones that had victory, who annihilate us, right? So he has his name to protect also. That's what I got from reading about the blessings and the curses. And I think it ties right into even the punishment that the Creator dispenses on us.
Very well. Thank you very much. I always had a lot of respect for your mind. You're very intelligent. And you got that little spiritual thing going on with you too to help you discern things. May the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah.
Torah Rabbah.
All right. Oh, does someone else have something to say?
Yeah, I wanted to Zaquina Tassila brought out something too when she said even with the punishment of children. And I think it's important, especially in a community setting when, we say it takes a village, that if you punish your child, or how you punish each child should be not I'm not saying they should be punished equally, but don't overdo another person's child's punishment to be kind of like something more neat put in the group. It's emasculating. You can emasculate a child and you can make them feel real I wouldn't even say ashamed of what they did, but more discuss it with you, because like let's say my child did something and I'd be like, oh, don't do that again, blah blah, but then my neighbor's child does it and I make it like a big scene and want to drag that child and make them look like they're the worst child. It made me think about that, and it made me think about it because it was done to my child. So, and I had to address the parent and say, there's one way, there's a way of punishing, but then there's a way of going beyond that. And if you punish a child, punish them from what they did, but don't now try to punish them more because whether you like them or you just want to try to be like the big bad, authoritative figure on the scene. That does not, it doesn't make a child want to respect you more. Children have a way of looking at a person like, oh, okay, yeah, something, that adult is a little whatever. It doesn't make them want to respect you more. And then, like I told her, the same way you want someone to discipline your child, discipline another person's child that way. You don't try to, like I said, emasculate a person in front of everybody else because of whatever your personal feelings are. That goes beyond the judgment of the punishment, and now you're adding personal, emotions and feelings into it. So then it makes the punishment kind of null and void because you've made it into something else. So I just wanted to add that. It just made me think about that.
Very good. May the Most High be praised. Very good. And people do treat children different when they're not theirs. But then sometimes, even when they're your own children, you refuse to punish them like they need to be punished because they're your own children. And that's not a good behavior either. It's always good to dish out equal punishment to your children and others. But then sometimes when it's our children, we let stuff slide that we wouldn't let slide with somebody else's children. So keep that in mind as well. For all of us, keep that in mind as well. When the Most High brought his punishment upon us, even in the book we just read in Jeremiah, the 9th chapter. In Jeremiah, the 9th chapter, when the Most High says he's going to visit the circumcised with the uncircumcised, he started with the circumcised first. That's his own house. We are the ones who are circumcised, the covenant. That was the covenant. So he's going to start in his house first before he deal with the other people. And so should it be the same way with you. We should always deal with our children first before we deal with the children out in the street. Or whatever rule and regulations we have for our children, right, to correct them, we should have that same type of discipline for those who do those same type of violations that don't live directly in our household. And then the way that we deal with their children is the same way we have to reverse that and deal with our own children. Just because they're yours, they don't get a pass. We have to be mindful of that. May the Most High be praised. Torah.
Okay. Okay. Most High says one judgment. One judgment. I think we have everybody that went so far on here. It's just me and you left, Prince. So I'll go. If there's anyone that is listening in on YouTube or Facebook, please give us your scripture. This is a time to where we bring forth our Torah. We share our Torah scriptures that we want to speak on and give us our thoughts. If there's any questions or comments, we allow that too. And for those that's listening back right now, if you weren't able to give us it during the live, go ahead and still put it in the comment section. We will check it, look at it, maybe go over it again, bring it, to the next class. All right. So it's interesting you all was bringing that out.
Rush?
Okay.
When you get a chance, I do have Ezzy's Law.
Oh.
If you want me to go before you guys?
Okay.
Okay. Ezzy's, go to my text message. Ezzy's Law is found in Numbers, chapter 35, verse 2 through 4. Okay. So Numbers, Bamidbar, chapter 35, verse 2 through 4. Command the children of Yisrael that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possessions, cities to dwell in, and open land round about the cities shall ye give unto the Levites. And the cities shall they have to dwell in, and their open land shall be for their cattle and for their substance and for all their beasts. And the open land about the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites shall be from the wall of the city and outward, 1,000 cubits round about. Her explanation is to relate this to this day and age, and what I believe it means is that as a nation, we are to help build up the nation, especially for the leaders amongst us. They are the ones who are to guide us in righteousness and in the way of Torah. So we should be willing to give of our time and our funds to help build up the nation, not just leaders, but the head mothers and teachers. For when they grow and do well as a whole, the nation will grow and do well. Of course, this doesn't mean for those people who call themselves leaders and abuse the congregation. A true leader, Morah, Moreh, Kohen, etc., will carry themselves in a way and show their integrity righteously.
She's always been a wise firecracker. May the Most High be praised. Thank you very much, Ezzy. Ezzy Wanyi. Always a very intelligent, promising one. May the Most High be praised. All right, bro. Is there anyone else in the audience who wants to give a commandment?
I don't see any more right now.
All right. Powerful scripture. Just given. I pray one day we'll get to where we need to be as far as accomplishing that. I believe it can happen, but we gotta want it. So you all was talking about I think it was Zakana to Celia when she brought out I don't know if she specified what scripture it was, but I'm assuming it was Deuteronomy 28. I'm assuming it was. But I was in Leviticus. We're going to go to Leviticus, Wa'ikra, chapter 20, 6. And what I had was, I'm going to skim over it. I had you all write it down for yourselves, 14 through 24 and 40 through 46, right? But when she brought out her part, it made me go up to the top of the chapter. And in the top of the chapter, it's doing the same thing that it did with verse chapter 28. I'm going to bring it out so you all can see it at the same time. So you all can see it at the same time. The first 14 verses, almost identically like this Deuteronomy or Devarim 28. It start off by saying, you should not make no idols, nor shall you erect a carved idol or a pillar, nor shall you install a figure stone in your land to bow down upon it, for I am the Most High Elohim. You should keep my Shabbat, right? And reverence my sanctuary. That's interesting because we just heard Prince speaking on that. The Mishkan, the Knesset. Well, most people, we see so many differences in how people operate within it to kind of show their level of reverence towards the sanctuary. The Most High told us to have reverence towards the sanctuary, right? We're always talking about having reverence towards the Most High and this and that, but the Most High is showing you this sanctuary needs to be reverenced too. Why? Because as Prince brought out, it is Kodesh, right? Set apart, or Kadosh. All right, it says, if you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give. Now, when you read verses 4 all the way down, I'm not going to read through it. It starts speaking in the same language of Devarim 28 in verses 1 through 14, I think it is. All positive, right? Increase yield and it's increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and all these different positive things it's speaking of, right? Through this verse. And I will give peace in the land, verse 6, and you should lie down, and none shall make you afraid. You know, I will remove evil beasts, etc., etc. Talks about, and you should chase your enemies. Even going down, it says, and 5 of you, verse 8, shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall chase 10,000. You know, and you're still going to come up on top. Let's go down to 14, though. So this is talking about it, right? And you shall set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you, hate you, right? Let's go to 14. But if you will not hearken to me, now this is interesting, and will not do all these commands, and if you should despise my statutes, and if your soul hates my judgments, right? The Torah is giving us the judgments that the Most High wants us to operate in. We saw that Achoto Geber Ezi came through and started talking about how we're supposed to operate, rightfully judge and things of that nature, righteous leaderships, you know, the women and the men coming together doing what we're supposed to do. But right here, if you despise my statutes and hate my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments. See, you can't do the commandments if you don't have the judgments present. You can't really keep the commandments if it's nothing accountable for your actions. Impossible. We see that today. We saw that through the Tanakh. It is nothing new. Today, we're able to read it, which is interesting because we're able to read all the outcomes. We're able to read all the outcomes of what's took place, and we're still not doing it. It says, but that you break my covenant, I will also do this to you. I will even appoint over your terror. So I'm not going to read all of this. 14 through, I wrote down my notes. Chapter 14 to 24, he started going into what he's going to do. And he will set his face against us. And if we continue to have our face set against him, this is going to continue to happen to you. So it started going into what Zakena Tusilia, the Barrett Tusilia brought out, as far as it seemed like it started multiplying. Whole bunch of things that started multiplying if you don't hearken. And what's crazy is this, the things that I thought about was Black Wall Street, right? I thought about Black Wall Street. I thought about even some of you that's familiar with Yahweh Ben Yahweh and all those accomplishments that man did with the people he had around him, as far as all the airport, the hotels, all this stuff, right? But something wasn't measuring up. we wasn't keeping the commandments. We wasn't keeping the judgments, as it said, right? We was going contrary to the fate, to what the Most High put in front of us. That could have been happening in Black Wall Street too. We know what happened. We get an uproar of what took place. We know it was injustice what they did to us during that time, but was we going according to what the Most High wanted us to do? That's something to think about. So you're going to see that going down all the way through this chapter. This is a powerful chapter. All the way through the chapter, you all. But I want to take you somewhere. If you jump down to verse 40, right? All this stuff is telling you, it's steady multiplying, as Zakina Tusilia brought out. Please read this chapter. It's almost in its own way identical to Deuteronomy 28. But verse 40, let's go down to 40 really quick. Watch what it says. This is interesting. And they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespass against me, that also they have walked contrary to me. Hold on one second. Okay, let's go up to 39. It's doing that same thing, Prince, that I did to you earlier. So 39 is what I want to start in this particular version. It says, and they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands. And also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. Please read whatever version you have, because it's about to get powerful. So you're in the enemy's lands at this point, and they shall confess their iniquity in the enemy's land, and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary to me. So all this that they did, that the iniquity and the contrariness, if that's a word, that they put against what I put in place, right? They're confessing it at this point in another land. Aren't we in another land right now? Watch this. And that I also walked contrary to them and brought them into the land of their enemies, then only will their uncircumcised hearts, Prince was teaching about this earlier, right? What book was that? Jeremiah chapter 9, I believe. He was teaching this earlier. If you missed the first class, please go to the first video we did earlier. Powerful. And that also walked contrary to them and brought them into the land of their enemies. Then only will their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and then they will make amends for their sin. Wait a minute, we can't do that until we're in the land. Okay. Some people know about Deuteronomy 30. Watch this. Then I will remember my covenant with Yaakov when they're in Israel. Nope. It says in the enemy's land. And also my covenant with Yitzchak. And also my covenant with Abraham. I remember when they're in Israel? No, when they're in the enemy's land. And I will remember the land, right? Let's keep going. The land also shall be forsaken by them and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, right? So the land is forsaken while she lies desolate without them. And they shall make amends for their iniquity. Because they despise my judgments and because their souls hated my statutes, which we do today. And yet for all of that, when they are in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, nor will I hate them, to destroy them utterly and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Most High Elohim. Let me see if that's on. I'm going to verse 46 actually. But I will for their sakes remember my covenant of their ancestors when they're in Israel. Nope. Whom I brought out of the land of Mizraim in the sight of the nations, that I might be their Elohim. I am the Most High. This is when they're in the land. This is what I'm talking about. It reminded me of us to Black Wall Street, all the great things we was trying to do. We've been trying to do here in the United States. We have not thrived the way that we should have because we're not fully back like what Geberet Ezzy brought out. We're not fully back what Prince brought out in the first half of class and this class. We're not there. These are the statutes, 46, and the judgments and the instructions, Torah, which the Most High made between him and the children of Israel and Mount Sinai by the hand of Moshe. So these things, the Most High We're making amends. A lot of us here are making amends with the Most High now. It's a remnant of a remnant. And he's going to remember us because of this small amount of people that has literally prayed for forgiveness, that Prince brought out earlier, praying for others. Those individuals are who the Most High is keeping that covenant that he kept with our forefathers due to us doing what's spoken of in Leviticus 26 right here in the land of our captives, of our enemies. I know I brought out a lot, Prince, but when I saw this and then listening to you and listening to Zakena Tusilia and Geber Ezi, it hit with this. So that's what I have.
I like it when we do a law, do a commandment, and it sparks so much conversation. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. What is this right here? What's this? What that say? A true leader, Moreh, Cohen, etc., will carry themselves in a way and show their integrity righteously. Yeah, absolutely. So that was good. That was good. So, Roshi, if you had to sum up your commandment, how would you sum it up?
Again, my apologies. It was just so much in there that meshed well with everything you all brought. But the basis, the whole idea of the whole thing that's being said in Leviticus chapter 26 is to hearken to what the commands of the Most High has for us, telling us to do, and to also walk it out, right? And to sum it up, in addition to that, is to kind of give us hope here. We might see the many things that was done, and a lot of people say, well, why you all living on Beulah? Why are you all trying to do this and that? Black Wall Street didn't survive. X, Y, and Z didn't survive. All these people didn't survive. It didn't work. Well, it was something that we weren't doing. We was trying to push and move ourselves. We saw some hurt happening with our people. You know, they was doing what they thought should have been done, but it was an element that was missing. And that element is to walk in the ways of the commandments that the Most High has given us. Understand the ways, the instructions, and to walk therein. So that's why I was bringing up Geber Ezi. That's why I was bringing up Zakena Tusilia, because of how they brought their verse and they expounded on what it is we need to do collectively. Black Wall Street was amazing. Millionaires. But something took place. And the only thing that we could look at is the other nations jumped in and they did what they did to us. But what if we were going in the power and the essence of what the Most High put forth for us to do as a people, spiritually, mentally, and lawfully? Would they have overcame us then? That's the basis of this whole chapter. That's what I was trying to bring up.
You know, you spark a lot of conversation. I don't think there's ever been a Hebrew community ever that in this lifetime that has walked according to the laws of the Creator. I don't think there's been one. A Hebrew community that was serious about this way of life. I know a lot of people started a lot of stuff, but I don't know any that's been really serious about keeping the laws of the Most High. I mean, really keeping the laws of the Most High. There's always something with them. So let's be the first. Let's take on that challenge and be the first. Morale, you want to speak?
Shalom, shalom. So if I could read a passage from Deuteronomy, I have it pulled up on here. Chapter 8. And I was thinking about this as my Ish was speaking. It speaks for itself, Slika. Verse 17, beware lest you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand have gotten me this wealth. You shall remember Adonai your Elohim, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your fathers, as it is this day. And if you forget Adonai your Elohim and go after other powers and serve them and worship them, I solemnly warn you today that you shall surely perish. I chose that one because even though it's talking about serving strange powers and those sorts of things, it's still on the realm of wealth. And you get this wealth and then you give praise to the power, or you forget the Most High all together. And if I remember correctly, when Black Wall Street and all these other organizations were really thriving, I don't remember any Hebrew congregations, or I don't remember any Hebrew foundation that was there, and them keeping the traditions and the covenant and giving praise to our power, not the power that the slave masters put on everyone.
And that's what's important. That's what's important. Not the power that the slave masters have given to our people, but the true living creator of all creation. You are very much on point there. Very much on point. So much can be said about this. You know, there was a place called Israel Hill. I read a book many years ago on a place called Israel Hill. Right after they released us from captivity, they have what they call the Black Codes. And the Black Codes was telling Black people, the newly free people, how to govern their lives, what they could and could not do. And a lot of our people got together and created a place called Israel Hill. But even in Israel Hill, I don't know what the way of life was for the people. But even there, the Europeans found their way in there to destroy that with the vagrancy laws and things of that nature, and made it a crime for you to stand on the corners. Way back then, that's probably why Black people can't get off the corners now, because it was a crime back in the day, so they feel like they got something maybe. Who knows? But we got to get up off them corners. So they made it a crime to stand on the corners. They call it vagrancy. And they would throw you in prison, where they would make money by putting you into prisons, and they would sell you to other people. And those people, most of the people that got put into prisons would die in the prisons. So it's like every time we come up to do something, they got ways to try to destroy us. But with the Most High's protection, like I was speaking about earlier, enemies be coming up against you every day. But the Most High is your protector. He fights battles for you that you don't see. He's always working on your behalf. He has angels around you right now, fighting spiritual warfare for you, and you don't even see it. You'll never know. When you get a certain feeling about something that you want to do, something coming to your emotions, something that you don't normally do, you be like, yo, man, why am I feeling like I want to go out here and do this? And you know it's something wicked, or it's going to lead to something and you're not sure. That's a spirit trying to get up on you. But if your spirit is strong enough, he will rightfully destroy that spirit and beat it down. And then that spirit that came on you, they'll come and it'll go, and you won't know. Let me tell you a little bit something. I'm going to leave it alone. We're going to move forward. But the Europeans are very familiar with the spirit world. Most of America and most of the world is under a spell, because they deal with witchcraft and sorcery and black magic. They deal with that spirit realm, and that spirit realm is real. And most of these people, most of our people are under a spell and don't even know that we're under a spell. Let me give you an example, small example. How many times you heard a song when the first time you heard on the radio, man, that song corny, man, I don't even like that song. Then after a while of hearing that song for a little while, you start liking that song. Find yourself bopping to the song, and then you embrace the song, you accept the song is real popular in society. You think you just started liking the song, but no, that wasn't what it was. They made you like the song. They know how to do what it is that they do through the spirit realm. They put certain undertones in the music to make it relate to your aura a lot better, to make you enjoy things that you don't naturally enjoy, that you wouldn't naturally enjoy. Same thing with the food you eat. Same thing with the personalities you have. Many years ago, when I first came into this way of life, my teacher, his name was Arthur Sanders. He was my first spiritual teacher. I ain't gonna say my first spiritual teacher, but my first teacher in Israel. And what he taught me was that at the time is when I first learned about chemtrails. Chemtrails are those things you see the airplanes in the sky. You see those white streaks be going across the sky, those little skinny streaks? Those are chemtrails where the government will put certain things in airplanes and go across and release it into certain communities and neighborhoods, and that it was settled down upon the earth real softly. But once it settled, it was in everything, your food, your water. It got in the earth and went down into the water underneath of the earth, all types of ways, but it also got in your skin. It also got into your mind. It also affects the way you think. He also told me about these ultraviolet rays that they would broadcast upon the sky late at night in certain areas of communities where we were. And then if you realize in certain times of the year or the month, people was really out of order. And a lot of that had to do with you thinking that you're in control of yourself, but you're not. They have a way of controlling you to make you do things that are unrighteous and unseemly. They have a way of feeding these energies to you because they understand a lot of things dealing with the spirit realm. You go through the front door, they go through the back door. And they affect you in a lot of ways that you have no idea what's taking place, why you think a certain way, why you eat a certain way, why you act a certain way, while so many of us are killing each other in our neighborhoods. It ain't just because we are mean, nasty, disgusting people. It ain't that. We're mean, nasty, and disgusting as an effect of what they've done to us for so many years. We've lost our minds in many cases, and we don't even understand. That's why a lot of us are so drawn to the negative, because our minds, the things that they've done to us, they have destroyed it, and negativity brings us excitement. Death and destruction and chaos makes us get prideful and makes us want others to fear us. And it's a shame. A lot of that, if you took the average colored person out of their environment and put them in a conducive environment, they would excel. The average, they would excel greatly. But because we are where we are and they are attacking us on all fronts, it's not allowing us. We're being more like animals than we are about than being humans and righteous. We act more like animals. So may the Most High be praised. So just to let you know, they doing things to us to keep us in the spirit realm doing things that are not good for our development. All right? So we're going to leave off with that. Any other questions or comments, family? No questions or comments? All right. Y'all had y'all chance. Nobody said nothing. Nobody said anything. All right. My commandment comes out of the book of Deuteronomy, the 13th chapter. We familiar with that? Deuteronomy, the 13th chapter. And this is what it says. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign of the wonder comes to pass, wherefore he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Here's the commandment. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For the Most High your Elohim proveth you to know whether you love the Creator, your Elohim, with all your heart and with all your soul. Earlier, we spoke about testing people to see if they're worthy of your companionship, of your loyalty. And this command says that even the Most High tests us to see if we are worthy of all that he has for us. He's telling us that there will come a time in your life where somebody will start dreaming dreams or prophesying things, and they're going to tell you, and it's going to be convincing. It's going to be like they just knew so much and they were right. But at the same time, they're going to tell you, now let's go worship this God. This is where you should have been all along. Come walk with me as I teach you about this God. And that God ain't got nothing to do with the Creator. And the Most High allow a lot of these things to happen just to test you to see if you really love him or not. It's almost like a man out with his wife, but he really set his wife up. He got this dude that's one of his homies, real husky. See, the man might be skinny. His wife, his homie's real husky, pretty boy. The man might just look like me or something, pretty decent, but just like scruffy. But his homie is well cut, shaved up real good, about 6'2", 240 pounds, looking good, be in the gym every day, dressed up with a suit tie, take his wife out to dinner one day, and he tell his homie, yo, you go sit in the cut. When she go to the bathroom, come out and approach her, see how she responds. See, he's testing her to see what type of woman she is. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. You got to know who you're walking with. You got to know. And women, you test your man in a different way, but you test him before he become your man. You test him while y'all courting. When you get to see him or get to know him a little bit, that's when you bring your test on him to see what type of character he displays before you marry him. But the Most High puts us to the test, family. To see, because he says to us, ask, and he will open up the windows of heaven. He got a lot to give to us. But are you worthy? Would you endure that test? Because I've heard a lot of people say about prophecies that were written in the New Testament, in the Quran, and a whole lot of other things of prophecies that's supposed to have been written. Now, these prophecies came true. Excuse me. And then they say, well, this prophecy came true. See, look at this. All right, now since you've seen that prophecy come true, because he prophesied that a long time ago, now let's go worship this power over here, this God over here. And it's not the Most High, then you're not to worship him. And what you should do, if you read a little bit further down, in verse 3, verse 4, it says, ye shall walk after the Most High your Elohim and fear him, and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him, only to the Most High. But watch this part. And that prophet or that dream of dreams shall be put to death. That prophet or that dream of dreams should be put to death. So the best thing you can do in this time, in this life and age you're living in, is just cut them out of your life. Separate yourself from them and don't have no dealings with them. Because he spoke to turn you away from the Most High your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust you out of the way which the Most High your Elohim commanded thee to walk in. So shall thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. Watch this though. You know how I spoke earlier and I spoke about us getting emotionally attached to people, and then we don't have the opportunity to rightfully judge them because we're so emotionally attached. We allow our emotions to get in the way. We see the evidence that this person is wicked or not worthy of being in your company, but because you're emotionally attached, you don't want to let them go. This is what the Most High has to say about that. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or the son of thy daughter, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosoms, or thy friend, which is as thy own soul. So all these people he's mentioning are people that you're emotionally attached to. If they entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people that are round about you. And we got a lot of those deities around about us. Until the other end of the earth, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare him, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand shall be the first upon him, to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. Now we're in this land of captivity. I'm not telling you to kill nobody. What I'm saying for you to do is the best thing you could possibly do is cut them off from your life, and they're dead to you, which means they don't have the opportunity to call you for anything after that. You separate yourself from them because that's what the Most High says for you to do. All right? I want to read this. My sister here, Sister Trucilia, she says, in our ignorance, the Most High still have compassion while he comes into the true knowledge of who we are. That's absolutely right, sis. However, I believe that the only condition on which we activate the hand of the Most High, redeeming us once again as a nation, is if we call out to him, repent, and return to the covenant he made with us and our forefathers. And you're so right, sis. You're absolutely right. All right. So that's Sister Laurel's chapter commandment for the day, Numbers 35 and 31. Not to accept ransom from a murderer as to relieve him from exile. So Sister Tusia, did she also give us the interpretation of it? Okay, I don't think she did. But that's very good, Sister Laurel. May the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah. Sister Arnit, you ready to rock and roll, sis?
Okay.
All right. So, family, we're going to go off with our commandments today. May the Most High be praised. Thank you, everyone, for all that you contributed to. And we're going to go into the book of Numbers. And I believe we're on chapter 13. Is that right, sis?
Okay.
All right, let's go. May the Most High guide my mind, my spirit, my body, my language, and my speech as I approach unto you, his people. May the Most High be praised from everlasting to everlasting. He is King. All right, family, you might want to share, who's ever watching this, you might want to share on your YouTube page and let everybody know we're having class right now. And we're getting into the book of the law right now. So if you have this, share it on your YouTube page and invite your friends and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe at the bottom and do all those things so that we can reach more people, help more people, and guide more people into the oneness of the Most High. All right, sis, let's rock and roll.
Reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 1. And the Most High spoke unto Moshe, saying, send thou men, that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. And Moshe, by the commandment of the Most High, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were heads of the children of Israel.
Now stop for a minute. They didn't just send out anybody. They sent out leaders, young princes, people who were responsible for others. These men that they sent out to spy out that land was men in their own right. Everyone had the ability and the duty to be leaders. But watch how leaders lie. Watch how leaders fabricate stories. Watch how you can't just accept because a man is in position of leadership or moray or in some type of position like that you just believe whatever he says to you. Watch and observe. Read on, please.
Verse 4. And these were their names. Of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zakur. Of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh.
Stop for a second, please. My Hebrew students, this is going to be challenging, but which one of you know what Caleb means in Hebrew? Does any of you Hebrew students know what Caleb means?
It means dog.
Who said that?
Maya Shah.
She cheated. She cheated. You know you wasn't supposed to speak. Very good answer. Very, very, very good answer. And it was good for you to know that. Very intelligent. I like that. That's good. Torah Rabbah. So think for a minute, family. Caleb means dog. Now, who in their right mind would name their son dog? Well, maybe the word dog had a different connotation back then. Because you can look at a dog in this manner, my protector. You see what I'm saying? And Caleb was the head of his family. He was in a position of leadership for the tribe of Judah. So maybe they looked at the word dog in a different light than what we do today because we abuse animals so much. But back then, remember, the animals lived amongst us back then. So Caleb means dog, but it's not necessarily mean that it meant a bad thing like we would do it today. Because if you name your son dog today, that's going to be an issue for him for the rest of his life. Read on, please.
Verse 7. Of the tribe of Issachar, Egal, the son of Joseph. Of the tribe of Ephraim, Hosea, the son of Nun.
Does anybody know who Hosea is? Anybody other than my sister Mora and my Isha? Anybody know who Hosea is?
What about me? Am I in this too?
No, no, man. I want to challenge the minds of the people because this is the only way that you're going to make it be concrete in their minds where they can remember it. Who was Hosea? That was his first name, and Moshe changed it. What was his name throughout the scriptures? All right. Since you can't answer, anybody can answer now. Anybody? Who?
Yehoshua. Joshua.
Joshua. That's right. Very good. Torah Rabbah. May the Most High be praised. All right. I got a hard one now. This is the last one I'm going to have. All right, this is the last one I'm going to ask, I think. What does Benjamin mean? Does anybody know what the Hebrew word Benjamin means? Anybody can answer this one.
Go ahead.
Son of my right hand.
That girl is sharp. Oh, was you whispering to her, Roche?
No, I'm not.
She is on point, man. She is on point. That's wonderful. May the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah. All right, let's go on, y'all. Of the tribe of Sister Ornette, she got dropped.
Okay, she got dropped. Did you want me to continue until she returns?
Here she comes. Here she comes. She's coming in now.
Set her.
Might just take her a moment.
Sleek guy.
All right, sis. You're on 9, 10. 10 or 9? How did your book go? I don't know.
Verse 9. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodi. Of the tribe of Joseph, namely of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, the son of Susi. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali.
All right. Who knows what the word Don means? What's the meaning of the word Don?
I'm not saying anything.
All right, Roche. Can anybody else answer that? No? All right, Roche, give it to him, bro.
I could be wrong though. I know it has something to do with judgment, right?
Yeah, it means to judge.
To
Oh,
judge, yeah.
Ezzy just put it in the chat too.
Is she all right? There you go.
My bad. My bad.
That's what I'm talking about. S-E-Y-E. All right, here's another one. Ami. What does Ami means?
My people.
Right?
Mm.
Who said that?
Or
Or indeed. She would know that, wouldn't she? Go ahead, sis. Congratulations, family. Y'all just graduated. Read on, please.
verse 11.
Go ahead, sis.
And as he said that too.
Congratulations, family. Y'all just graduated. Read on, please. All right, go ahead.
Verse 11. Of the tribe of Joseph, Oslika. Verse 13. Of the tribe of Asher, Sether, the son of Mikael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, the son of Voshi, or Vosi. Of the tribe of Gad, Geuel, the son of Machi.
Hold on for a second, please, sis. Somebody needs to put their phone on mute because I hear some feedback coming from somebody else about the lesson. I guess they're on YouTube. I'm not sure. All right, sis, let's try it. Oh, Gad. Anybody know what Gad means? No? Eziwani, you know what Gad means?
I'm in my head trying to sing the song and I can't even think it.
What is that? Ziki know what Gad means? All right. Y'all go look up the word for Gad and come back and let us know. Read on, please.
Verse 16. These are the names of the men whom Moshe sent to spy out the land. And Moshe called Hosea, the son of Nun, Joshua.
Joshua. Moshe
Yahoshua.
changed his name. Yahashua had two names in the scriptures. His first name was Hoshea. His second name was Yahashua. Does it mean wealth or money? No.
It says fortune.
What are we talking about, Gad or Dan?
Gad. Dan is thou shalt judge.
Gad's supposed to mean true.
Oh, it says fortune in here. Okay.
It's supposed
But
to
that's
mean
what
true.
Ziggy said.
What Ziggy say?
Fortune. And when I looked it up, that's what it said.
All right. Well, look up troop. See if it's troop.
You said troop?
Yeah, Troop. I don't know the reason why Moshe changed his name, but Moshe changed his name from Hoshea, from Savior to He shall save. That's what it is.
Hmm.
Yoshia means He shall save. You know what? I think you're right. Fortune. I think you're right. It's fortune. In the book of Genesis, when she had those children, she had Gad and she says, I am fortunate. That's right, because I gave a lesson on that. You're right, Eziwanyi, and you're right, Ziki. Fortune is fortune or wealth, yeah, but it's fortune in the scriptures.
Prince, I got a question.
1 second, please.
Consider.
Because we taught a lesson on Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, the Greek deity that they worshipped. And we was trying to figure out why a Hebrew woman would be naming her child after a Greek deity. Absolutely right. Thank you for that. Roche, Brother Roche?
No, that's what I was going to ask. I know the Germanic or whatever version of God is similar to ours. God or Gad, however, some people got different pronunciations of our tribe. But I was going to ask you that. That's what's going. I'm like, hey, that's similar to God. That's what I was going to ask.
You're absolutely correct. But we did some things, man. We did some things. Yes, Bima.
Well, when I read the story when they were having their sons, I noticed that every time they had a son, they named them after something that was meaningful to them of, whatever they were going through at that time. Um, I know that's how I looked at it. Like, like each one had some type of, especially for I think Raquel, because she was barren for so long. So when she had hers, it was like a different type of victory for her. And then when she had her handmaiden have one, like they all named them for different things that related to that pregnancy.
Okay,
That's how I look at it.
very good. Torah. Torah, may the Most High be praised. Sister Ornate?
Verse 17. And Moshe sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up this way into the Negev, and go up into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people who dwell therein, whether they are strong or weak, few or many.
So they had a simple job to do. All they was do was to go up into the land and spy them out to see if we were able to conquer them, whether they were strong or weak. There was a whole lot of them or just a little bit of them. But they had a simple job to do. And watch what happens. Read on, please.
Verse 19. And what the land is that they dwell in, whether it is good or bad, and what cities that they are that they dwell in, whether in camps or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it is fat or lean, whether there is wood therein or not. And be ye of good courage, and bring the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rehob. And men come to Hamath, and they ascended by the Negev, and came unto Hebron, where Ammon, Shishai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt.
Now stop for a second. Anak. Anak was supposed to be giants. Anakim. The Anunnaki, Anakim. And it depends on how deep you go into your science and research of that. But there was aliens come from another planet that they teach. But Anak is giants. The people of the land was large, tall people. And the fruit of the land was big clusters of grapes that it took 2 men to carry one cluster. Now, when our people went in and they saw that, they said, there's no way that we can conquer this land. No way. Because the men are too big, too tall, too strong. And that's how we are today. When we think about this civilization that we're living in today, a lot of people will question you and say, how is the Most High going to take us out of this captivity? There's no way we can win. That's what people would think. So just like our forefathers back in the day, they lost focus of the ability of the Creator. You today must not lose focus of the Most High. You must remember who the Most High is. You must remember how powerful this King really is. There is no situation in your life, none, absolutely none, that the Most High cannot reverse and put in your favor. I don't care what situation you get in. The Most High has the ability to do all things. It is us who must learn to trust in Him. And if we learn to trust in the Creator, then the Creator will begin to perform miracles in our lives way, way further than what we've ever imagined was possible. That's how this King works. May the Most High be praised. Our people forgot how powerful they were, how powerful the Most High was. Read on. Let's see what we at, sis.
Reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 23. And they came unto the brook of Eshcol, and cut down from there a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bore it between two upon his staff. And they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. The place was called the brook Eshcol, because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from there. And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moshe and to Aharon and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, We came unto the land to which thou entest us, and surely it flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people.
But there's always a but when you got fear in your heart. So they said the land flow with milk and honey, which means it can sustain us for life. Here go a cluster of the grapes. You saw how big the grapes were. Here go some figs and some honey. But the people of the land is our problem. That's our fear. You take on a challenge in life, you come up against a brick wall, and the first thing you do is you give up. You give up because you're overwhelmed and you forgot the power of the Most High. He can pull you through anything. What you do is you pray to the Creator and you continue to proceed. Never give up. There's never a challenge too hard for you when the Most High is on your side. Never. Never. You in college, you in school, you're studying, you're learning, and the exam is very difficult. Make prayer to the Most High before you go and take that exam. But make sure you do all your work prior to even making prayer and after making prayer. Don't just make prayer and think you're going to pass it because the Most High going to bless you with it. The Most High don't mind blessing you, but you got to put in the work to show the Most High that you're worthy to be blessed. You follow me? Read on, please.
Verse 28. Nevertheless, the people are strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there.
The children of giants. The people are strong there, and the walls are strong and great. And the children of Amalek, they dwell in the land. Read on, please.
Verse 29. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the Negev, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the edge of the Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moshe, and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it. But the men went up with him said, But the men that went up with him said, We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we.
So again, this is a perfect example of when our people put more trust in what they saw with their eye, their physical eye, than they did with their spiritual mind. We saw a wall, and we ran smack into that wall and never even thought that we could make it over or through the wall. So we gave up, turned around, and went back. Now remember these people. What caliber of people were these? These were leaders of our people. They were the heads of the organizations. Men of titles of nobility, princes even. But they were fearful people because they really didn't trust the Most High all the miracles they seen the Creator do. But they saw these people who were strong in these big walls, and they became afraid. They lost hope. They began to say that we couldn't possibly conquer them because we wouldn't win. How many challenges have you come up with in your life, family, that was extremely difficult challenges that you just was fearful in trying to do, but yet you perceived, you made prayer, you did your homework, and you took on that challenge and you conquered? How many times? It doesn't matter what the situation is in your life. The Most High has the solution for all of them. Doesn't matter what it is. You have to put your trust in Him, and He will fight your battles for you. But even in putting your trust in the Most High, don't mean you sit on your hands and don't do anything to try to get out of that situation. You have to still physically put in the work, but you ask the Most High for His blessings along the way. And the Most High will, oftentimes, He will bless you. I don't know what's going to happen in your unique situation because you might got things going on with you. I don't know. But I know what takes place in my life with those challenges that face me. And I'm constantly at the Most High's door, asking for help, asking for deliverance. Because living in these shoes that I live in, walls are constantly placed in front of you. And the Most High is constantly tearing them down. And I'm thankful. Put the emphasis, family, that these men was leaders. They were leaders. They set the positions of leadership. So how were they supposed to guide the people? With the confidence, knowing that the Most High has your back. But they didn't. Read on, sis.
Verse 32. And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched.
They lied. They were afraid, and it caused them to lie. And they were lying to the man of the Most High. They brought up an evil report of the land, which they had spied out to the children of Israel. Read on, sis, please.
Saying, the land through which we have gone to search it, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature.
They were afraid of competition. You can't be like this when you call yourself an Israelite, because we don't raise losers or weak people. We don't raise losers, quitters, or weak people. We raise people who are willing to take on the challenges and take it on till you conquer. If you have a problem learning something, saturate yourself in it until you master it. Don't let anything conquer you in life. You conquer everything that the Creator puts in front of you. If you couldn't conquer it, He wouldn't give it to you. There is nothing too hard for you to do. Nothing that you cannot accomplish. Nothing that you cannot achieve. I know a lot of you went to school at one time and you gave up because you thought it was too hard, it was too difficult, it took too much of your time. But there is a way. You can make a way, and you can get it done. And you can ace those tests and come out like a champ. You just got to saturate yourself with that knowledge. May the Most High be praised. Torah.
Verse 33. And there we saw the giants, the son of Anak, who come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. And so we were in their sight. That's the end of the chapter.
Yes, read on, please.
Reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aharon, and the whole congregation said unto them, with the Most High that had died, with the Most High that we had died in the land of Egypt, or with the Most High we had died in the wilderness.
Stop for a second, please. Do you know how important, what was that, Exodus 32? Is that what it was? Exodus 32, where it says about the following a multitude to do evil. Do you see how easy and simple it was for the leaders of the people to come back and tell the people these lies and the people to accept it? The people accepted these lies and they ran with it. They ran with it. And now that the people accepted it, the people took that back. The people took those lies. The leaders gave the lies to the people and caused fear to run through the people. You see how important your job is as a leader? But even more important, do you see how important your job is as a layman to pick a leader? You can't pick a leader that's built off of fear. He pretends to be one way, but you know he's a chump. He shouldn't be your leader. You shouldn't have a leader, somebody in a leadership position that you yourself don't respect highly as a man of truth, as a man of war, as a man that's going to protect you. If he's not about it, you shouldn't have him in a position of leadership, because a leader is like a father. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They don't understand this. But your leader is like a father to you. I said this one time, and the brother ain't never let me live this down. He still mentions this to the day. Leader's like a father, leader's like a husband. The husband is your protector. He looks after you, he provides for you, he makes sure you got everything you need, he makes sure your environment is right for your dwellings. What's the difference between that and a leader? Is there any difference? Because your leader is the one who's supposed to have a vision. And he's supposed to see what we need to be doing to preserve our lives for tomorrow. Same thing with a husband. So if you got a man in a position of leadership and he doesn't show these types of qualities, you need to get yourself another leader. If your leader, your spiritual leader has been doing the same thing in the same position for the last 15, 20 years and haven't elevated or increased or even benefited in any way, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, in any way, to show you a difference in his leadership, then why are you still walking with him? What is your leader doing? And this is not to criticize those who are really about this way of life, but ask yourself, what is your spiritual leader doing that's any different than any other rim of a row or up and down the block person who calls themselves a leader, other than running his mouth? What is he doing to produce a better life for you? For your future, for your children? What is he doing? Test him too. Test him. Tell him you need a place to live. You need a place to go. Tell him you ain't got no food. Tell him you need some help. Test him too. As a man, test your leader and see if he comes through for you, or if he's going to talk about you to the other men in the community. Talk about you from the podium. Put you on blast for everybody to see. Because if that happens, you know that's not the man you need leading you. Believe me, family, your spiritual leader is just like a husband. He's a husband to the community. Your spiritual leader is just like a father, because he's a father to the community. And we have to understand that. And anybody who doesn't understand is because they're not in their rightful space spiritually. And that's why they wouldn't understand. May the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah for your audience. Read on, sis. Let's see where we at.
Reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 3. And wherefore has the Most High brought us unto this land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return unto Egypt?
All because of the fear that the leadership put in their spirit. I watched this one leader, and this was a factual thing. This guy was, what's that Hebrew Israelite community? I'm going to call him out, put him on blast, because it was wrong and he shouldn't have did it. He was an Israelite leader. What's that? Not the IUIC brothers. God, what's the brother's name? I can't remember his name. But he told his people, he said, go get your COVID shot. He said, go get that shot because we need it to protect us. Go get it. And a lot of people who was under his leadership, ISUP, Chief Yohana. Yeah, General Yohana. Yeah, that's what it was. He said, go get the COVID shot. He said, because we need it for our protection. And now today, we see how that was such a wicked thing to do. Why would he do such a thing? It's not that he wasn't concerned about his people, but the first thing was he didn't put his trust in the Most High. He allowed fear to govern him while he led his people. That's a problem. You never allow fear to govern you. Ever, 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 ever. What I say earlier, remove your emotions from the equation when you're making righteous decisions. And fear is an emotion, and it must be removed from the equation. I don't care how fearful you are. Remove the fear when you're making a righteous decision that determines your life and the life of others. The future is at stake. You cannot allow your emotions to govern that. You can't. But he did. He allowed his emotions to make a decision. And he told those people that walked with him to get the COVID shot. And I was totally surprised. Me and my brother, we got our differences, but I didn't know it was that strong. The difference was that strong. He told them to go get the COVID shot, and many of them did. So here we have an example of leadership through the scriptures who allowed fear to set in. And when they went and they got fearful, they told the people and the people got fearful. So can you imagine if Prince had said, go get the COVID shot, how many of our people went out and got that shot? Can you imagine how many people, the brothers, sisters, the brothers' wives, the brothers' children, and everybody he knew, they all would have been telling each other to go get that shot. And I'm sure that's what took place with my brother, General Yohana. Sad. And I pray that he's learned from that, not to do that again. I pray that he has. All right, sis, let's read on.
Verse 4. And they said one to another, let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Then Moshe and Aharon fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, who were of them that searched the land, tore their clothes. And they spoke unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is a very good land. If the Most High delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Most High, neither fear ye the people of the land. For they are bread for us, their defenses is departed from them. And the Most High is with us, fear them not. But all the congregation demanded to stone them with stones. And the glory of the Most High appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And the Most High said unto Moshe, how long will this people provoke me? Believe me, for all the signs which I've shown among them, I will smite them with a pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moshe said unto the Most High, then the Egyptians shall hear it, For thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them, and they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. For they have heard that thou, the Most High, are among this people, that thou, the Most High, have seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by daytime in a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now if thou shalt kill all these people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, because the Most High was not able to bring these people into the land which he swore to give them, therefore he has slain them in the wilderness. And now I beseech thee, let the power of my Most High be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Most High is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgressions, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people, according unto the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt until now. And the Most High said, I have pardoned according to thy word.
Now watch this, fam. Let me interrupt for a second. Because there's a lot of things that I think you might, well, this one particular thing I think you might have not understood or might not, you really didn't catch. Can we go back to verse 12, please, and pull verse 12 up on the screen?
Verse 12, I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them.
This is the Most High telling Moshe what he was going to do to all those rebellious people in the house of Israel. Because the majority of the people got together and said they're going to stone Moshe and Aharon and put them to death. And the Most High intervened. This is a conversation between the Most High and Moshe as to what the Most High is about to do to the children of Israel. Read that again, sis, please. Verse 12.
Verse 12, I will smite them with the pestilence.
He's going to bring a disease. He's going to bring a disease upon them and kill them. He's going to wipe them all out with a disease. And then do what, sis?
Disinherit them.
He's going to disinherit them, meaning you will no longer be his people. And watch this.
And will make of thee a greater nation and mightier.
And make of who a greater nation?
Moshe.
He's going to make of Moshe a greater nation. Now, what spiritual leader do you know today that the Most High will tell him, I'll make all your descendants great and do away with these knuckleheads, and they wouldn't go for it? Moshe was so meek and humble, and he loved his people so much. Even though they was about to put him to death, he loved them. And what did he do but plead on the behalf of the people to the Most High? He was about to get a whole nation to come out of him. His descendants, his children, directly from his bloodline, because the Creator said that. And they would have been mightier and greater than the children of Yisrael. But guess what Moshe did? Oh no, Most High, Most High. Then how do you think that's going to look to the Egyptians? You just did all that in Egypt just to bring them out in the wilderness to destroy them and then to raise up my seed? No. He pleaded on our behalf, on the behalf of our forefathers. But there's a lot of Israelite males who stand in a position of leadership who would never do that for the majority of the people. He would never do that. Oh, I'm going to be the big man? I'm going to be head honcho? Yeah! Come on, Creator, let's bring it. I ain't like them Nick Reed anyway. Them Nick Reed got on my nerves anyway. They didn't appreciate me. That's what's going to happen. Let's read on, sis. Torah Rabbah.
Verse 21. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Most High, because all those men who have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have put me to the test now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swore to give unto their fathers.
Stop. All the adults and all the people that came out of Egypt as adults, from the age of 20 on upward, the Most High killed them all in the wilderness. They never seen the promised land. The only people that entered the promised land was the newly born children, 20 and younger, were the only ones that went into the promised land, with the exception of Caleb and Hoshea. Who's Hoshea? Somebody tell me who Hoshea is.
Joshua.
Do you know that even the one who is speaking this, Moshe, did not see the promised land? He didn't go into the promised land. And his brother Aaron didn't go into the promised land with all that work that they put in. They didn't go into the promised land. Yahushua and Caleb was the only two that gave a good report. But not just that they gave a good report, their lives was exemplary of righteousness before the Most High. Not that they were perfect, but they did their very best to be perfect. And the Most High found them acceptable, and he allowed them to enter into the land of promise. Read on, sis. Torah Rabbah.
Verse 23. Surely they shall not see the land which I swore to give them, to give unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him.
He had another what?
Spirit with him.
It's all about that spirit world, y'all, what I'm trying to explain to you. The spirit world is much stronger than this physical world that we're in. That Ruach Kodesh must be up in you. Read on, please.
And has followed me fully. Him will I bring into the land whereinto he went.
Where prior in the scriptures, other than this book, did you hear about Caleb? Nowhere. He wasn't out in the forefront. He wasn't making no big noise. He wasn't the head honcho that we knew of. He was a head honcho, but he wasn't making no noise. We didn't know nothing about Caleb. But what the Creator just say about Caleb? He gonna make it into the land because he feared me tremendously. He made it. Read on, sis.
And his seed shall possess it.
Not only him, but his seed was being blessed because of his deeds. Not what he said out of his mouth, but because of the actions that he displayed.
Verse 25. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwelt in the valley. Tomorrow turn you and get you into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. And the Most High spoke unto Moshe and unto Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation?
What? The Most High is frustrated with us, family. We letting him down. He's disappointed in us. He said, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation? See, your community can't be evil, family. It can't be. You know, everybody has to have a check and balance system. When the leadership sees something ain't right, the leadership got to deal with it right away. Not sweep it under the rug, and because they're his children, he turned his back and turned a blind eye and treat them a certain way because his children or his grandchildren or his great-great-grandchildren are doing evil, but it's his blood, so he's going to act like, oh man, and blame it on somebody else. It don't go that way. Righteously is how you got to judge the situation. And that's what the Father's saying right here. That's why he didn't want to deal with the people, because they wasn't dealing in righteousness. They complain about everything. And the Father wasn't pleased with it. Read on. Let's see what he says.
Verse 27. How long shall I bear with this evil congregation who murmureth against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Most High, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness.
Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness. Your dead bodies will fall right here in this wilderness. Read on.
And all who were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, who have murmured against me. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swore to make you dwell therein, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. But your little ones, whom ye said shall be prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness, and your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years.
How long?
40 years.
It didn't take us 40 years to walk from Egypt to Canaan. It didn't take 40 years. But because of our disrespect and our rebellion and us refusing to walk in the ways of the Most High, it took us 40 years to get there. And he was being merciful along the way. Look, we didn't have nothing to eat. There's some powerful stuff. We didn't have nothing to eat. So we call out to the Most High for food. And guess what? He fed us meat in the desert. He allowed quails to fall from the sky and manna to be on the ground when we woke up. We could just pick it up off the ground and eat it. Manna. He provided for us. But we turned our backs on him. And he said, you're not worthy. So therefore he cut us off. And he allowed all of us, over 600,000 of them, to die right there in the wilderness. And then he started over again with the children, who then grew up being disrespectful to him. As long as Joshua was alive, they was cool. Caleb there. And then after that, the people were wicked. Every man did what was right in his own mind, just like we do today. Everybody got all these different interpretations of the law and how to keep the law. Matter of fact, we even got different interpretations of who to call upon. Different names for the Most High. We can't work together to get anything done. Anything that's been established by Israel today, usually it's just a matter of time, but it falls apart. Sometimes sooner or quicker than others. And this happens to be one of those times. This happens to be one of those times. Read on, sis. May the Most High be praised.
Verse 33. And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your harlotries, until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. After the number of the days in which ye search the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise.
So for 40 days, we searched out the land of Canaan. We came back and we lied. We gave a false report. Then we murmured about the Most High's servants. So for those 40 days that we walked the wilderness, The Creator gave a year for each day, which made it 40 years that we had to live in the wilderness before he took us into the land. May the Most High be praised. Torah.
Verse 35. I, the Most High, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation who are gathered together against me in this wilderness. They shall be consumed, and there they shall die. And the men whom Moshe sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up a slander upon the land.
What they do?
By bringing up a slander upon the land.
Do not speak ill about the servants of the Most High. What happens, sis?
37. Even those men who did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Most High.
They died. And I'm sure they didn't die right away, but they died. If you say you believe in the Most High, then believe in him even when it makes you uncomfortable. Believe in him. If you say you're going to live by the Most High's commands, then live by those commands even when it makes you uncomfortable. Live by those commands. Because when you don't, you're going to die. Well, you're going to die anyway, but you might die a gruesome death. And who wants their death to be gruesome? You want to live to be as old as you could possibly live. All of us, we want to live to be as old as we could possibly live. We should. But if we don't do what is right, pleasing, and acceptable to the Creator, you're going to die a death that others are going to remember how and why you died. Read on, please.
Verse 38. But Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, who were of the men who went to search the land, lived still. And Moshe told these sayings unto the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly.
They mourned. They were sad. Why were they sad? Somebody tell me why they were so sad. Do anybody know? Why were the people mourning?
Because they wouldn't see the land.
Them niggas, I call them niggas. Them niggas was mourning because they just got told they're gonna die in that wilderness. They don't care about seeing no land. They only care about living. They only care about living. They want to survive. The Most High just told them, all y'all gonna die right here. And it's gonna be soon. The plague is gonna come, it's gonna hit y'all, it's gonna strike y'all, and y'all gonna die right here. They were sad. Oh, they was weeping and mourning. Oh, Creator, no, we sorry. Don't do this to us. But you got the chance right now. You got the opportunity right now, family, to serve the King. You don't have to wait till he pronounces judgment upon you. You can serve the King right now and do what is right, pleasing, and acceptable in his sight right now. Leave your idols alone. Separate yourself from your idols. Get outside of your mind of living and being arrogant, selfish, not showing kindness to the poor, the fatherless, the widows, and those who are in need. Get out of those habits and worship this King and live the life you're supposed to live to please him. Do it before it's too late. You find yourself laying on a hospital bed. Even in a hospital bed, you have the opportunity to ask the Most High for forgiveness and mercy and cleanse your soul. But that might be all you asking for, because he might not going to be able to bring you back to health because he don't want to. He going to let you die. But he gave you that opportunity to repent. So repent daily before any calamity happens to you. Therefore, the calamity just might not come to you. That's why you serve this king, for his protection. Don't mean that he did it to you, but he allowed it to happen for his protection. Serve him for his protection. Read on, sis, please. Thank you.
Verse 40. And they rose up early in the morning and went up unto the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we are here, and will go up unto the place which the Most High has promised, for we have sinned. And Moshe said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Most High? But it shall not prosper. Go not up, for the Most High.
Now you want to remember the Creator and be all respectful and ask for forgiveness. Now you want to do that, but you ain't going to prosper in it. The Most High see your deception. Read on, please.
Verse 42. Go not up, for the Most High is not among you, that ye be not smitten before your enemies. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are here before you, and ye shall fall by the sword, because ye have turned away from the Most High. Therefore, the Most High will not be with you. But they presume.
Can you imagine hearing those words? That's some deep stuff. Read on, please.
44. But they presume to go up unto the hilltop. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Most High and Moshe departed not out of the camp.
The ark of the covenant of Most High and Moshe. Wow. Don't speak ill about the Most High's anointed. Don't speak ill about the leader of your people, because you never know how that person might be important to the Most High. Now, they just spoke real ill about Moshe, and now they're calling the Ark of the Covenant belonging to the Creator and Moshe. That's deep. So that means Moshe had a lot of rank and authority in the circle of things. Read on, please.
Verse 44. But they presumed to go up upon the hilltop. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Most High and Moshe departed not out of the camp. Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites who dwelt in that hill, and smote them, and routed them, even unto Hormah.
The Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites who dwelt in the hills, the Most High left. He lifted up his shield of protection upon our people, and they came down and began to kill our people. But even they started to overdo it. Even they overdid it. Read on, sis, please.
That's the end of that chapter.
That's the end of the chapter. May the Most High be praised. We're going to close out with that portion for our readings today. Let's talk, family. Tell us what you got out of the reading today. Are there any questions, any comments, or anything? Let us know how you feel, what you understood, what knowledge was imparted upon you that you can take with you to change your behavior from this day forward as you worship and serve this King. Anyone?
Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom, sis.
Read these scriptures today, even the scriptures that we read last week. It just continues to drive home how important, Yah's anointed is to him, and how important it is to, follow instruction as it is being given. And it just continuously, each chapter just continues to deeply explain the chastisements that come with murmuring against the Creator's anointed.
Mm-hmm.
And I know in today's time, like Roche had explained earlier, people have lost respect, so much so that, you know, these stories are even said to be fairy tales, you know. So that respect that we once had is no longer. And our actions show that every day, even in our own circles, our own jurisdictions and Knesses. You'll see good brothers and sisters being tore down intentionally. And so you honestly, you don't know who's close to the Most High. You don't know. So it is best to just back off, you know. So I just find it to be very interesting how each chapter we continue to read, the Creator is not playing. He's not playing about his anointed.
Wonderful. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. Anyone else?
Okay. What I took from it too, everything Sister Anit said was resonating within me as well. And then also the humbleness of Moshe. You know, Moshe's humbleness and the fact and the love he had for his people. Like, you don't see that love for the people in the Tanakh, like what Moshe had for the people. And you definitely, it's rare. I won't say you don't see it today, but it's so rare, like that, where you would, knowing that, you know, you're speaking to the King of all kings, the creator of everything, begging for him to be merciful upon those that talked against him and his servants, you know, his anointed, for him to have that heart to speak on the behalf of the wicked, you know, like that's tremendously something to commend. And he was just a man, you know, but he had such a love for the people that was amazing. And I think about that, and I think about how quickly we are so ready to turn on one another. We will turn on one another against talking about a leader before we turn on each other for talking about the Most High. And it's like it just shows you the connection Moshe had with the Most High and the connection he had with the people, and how he loved both so much. He wanted to make sure that we all, you know, had a time of repentance, and that the Most High, you know, showed mercy on the people, even though they didn't deserve it. So it was very good. And I see Ezzy has a comment. I think he's frozen, but Ezzy's comment says, if we don't look into ourselves as individuals and take accountability of where we fall short and make the effort to change our ways, to be diligent in law of our leaders and obedient to the Most High, or respectful to our leaders, the Most High, then we will be like our forefathers, crying about things we could have
Prevented.
but that we caused. Yeah, like, yeah, what Ezzy just said is true. Because if we look at ourselves today, we're doing a lot of what our forefathers did. We're out here murmuring against our leaders. We have no respect, no order, and it's just chaos out here. And when you go to these different congregations, everybody's doing whatever they want, pretty much, and not upholding the Most High in His holiness. And then the people don't respect the leaders, but the leaders don't respect themselves to be truly righteous and humble themselves. You know, don't take the part. I think what Moshe showed, he didn't allow his assignment to overcloud his judgment and and make him like the big man walking around with his chest puffed out like he had no type of wrong. And when we look today, there's so many leadership out here, men and women, in their hoary heads, in their old age, who walk around with the chest puffed out and don't humble themselves and try to teach, the younger ones and help to get order back, back in state. Nobody's trying to do that. Everybody's just, it's fighting, bickering, and we're murmuring. And we're going to be in the same state. And who's going to cry out for us? Who's going to beg the Creator for mercy for us? Like, who amongst us is that much of a leader as Moshe was?
Very good. May the Most High be praised. Any other questions or comments, family? Anyone else want to elaborate a little bit? And thank you, Ezzy, for that input. Very much wisdom there.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Yeah, I absolutely agree with Ezzy's comment as well, especially the part where if we don't change, then we're going to be the ones causing our own downfall, as we are literally right now. As our ancestors have done before, we are the reason why we are in this position. Like, it's only us, and we're doing this to ourselves. And I actually didn't realize that it was a few of the leaders that had lied to the people at that point. I actually didn't even know that happened. So that was the first time I actually really, really, really saw that. And the first time I understood why Caleb and Joshua went into the land. Because I never understood why all the other leaders didn't go as well. I knew Moses had done something, and I don't think we read it yet, but I knew that was coming. I didn't know about the other ones though. Why? And now I know why. So Toda Rabba Abba for reading that, so I could see. But yeah, and I didn't know that they lied either. So that was the first time seeing that, and it definitely watched things that come out of your mouth, because you could think that it's something really small, and the Most High could take that and make it what it actually is, which is something big to him, because you lied to his people, you lied to whoever you're lying to, causing fear, and then the children started acting up. It just was a spiraling effect. So yeah, I got out of it to definitely watch what you say, and not only not let fear rule over you, but to practice what you preach, and to actually be the leader, be the thing that you want to see, and not be ruled by don't rule you rule over your mouth. Don't let your mouth rule over you and your emotions rule over you. So that's what I got of it pretty much.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Very good analogy. Very good analogy. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? Anyone else want to tell us what they got out of the lesson today?
I want to bring something out in that chapter that we've all been talking about this for the past few weeks, probably a couple months. But notice how the meekness or the humility that Moshe had, and even at that moment, Aharon had his moments throughout what we read, but at that moment they dropped to their faces. They and then you have Caleb and Yehoshua renting their clothes. At that moment, it just shows that they were under or standing, I would say standing on the shoulders, as we spoke on earlier, or Prince said, of a Moshe. And that's why when Moshe was gone and Aharon, the people, and see what's interesting is this, the people are similar to, we're just like how the people was back then, as far as those who were iffy with the Most High. We see that what we just read. But the difference I would like to say is when Moshe left, and then when Yehoshua and Caleb took over, the people still had a sense of respect with them. Like they stayed on the path when those leaders was there, but when they departed, like Prince brought out, they started going into ways. So I just you kind of look at it today, and it's like we got to do better. Like we're doing the same exact thing. Is my point. We're doing the same exact thing, and as Prince said earlier, I pray that, like here at Beulah, and I believe it can be done and will be done, that we can be a community that a lot of the people been hoping for. You know, we always see elements of righteousness within individuals, but we haven't saw elements of righteousness within an entire community. And I pray that we can do that. I know we can. I'm talking about an entire community. That would be amazing.
Absolutely amazing and very real and possible. Remember what I said about when you come up against that wall? Anything and everything is impossible when you trust in the Most High. And that's where we're at. May the Most High be praised. Anyone else?
Can I say something to what Roche said about the
Okay.
it's like the community? You know, I just saw my daughter's comment. It would be indeed. Do you know how I think everybody is craving? Let me not say everybody, but a lot of us are craving righteousness so bad, like to see it and to actually live in it, because so much wickedness is going on. And we, like earlier we were talking about, we pointed at everybody else in the world of their wickedness, but we have so much wickedness going on in Israel. So much is disgusting, and our youth are like disgusted. They don't even want to be a part of the congregations and communities and whatever it is, gatherings, because the wickedness is sitting right there and people are walking by it. Like it's like when you walk by it and you see something on your floor and you don't pick it up. It's what's happening right now. People just walking by the wickedness back and forth, back and forth. And as you continuously walk by something on the floor, it spreads because you start to walk on it, it starts to get deeper into the floor or the rug, whatever it is, right? And that's what's going on within us. And so it's like we want it so bad, but that means we have to fight for it. You know what I mean? That means we have to literally, and I'm not talking about a physical fighting. I mean spiritually fight for it. When we pray, when we cry out to the Creator, we have to seriously pray about this. Like my Ish tells me, he's like, every time you pray about getting rid of the wickedness from amongst us, something happens where it shows us, and that person is removed, or an incident is revealed, and more people are, removed, and we have to really mean it in our prayers. And I really be meaning it in my prayers. And then when it happens, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, wait, maybe I shouldn't. But then, no, I have to remind myself, no, I should, because this is what I prayed for. And I can't cry about, it's like crying about spilt milk. You can't pick it up. So I can't cry because the wicked people have been removed from us. I need to be rejoicing in that and embracing in it. But we're emotional, you know what I mean? We attach ourselves to people and we get sad. But we have to realize, hey, if it's wicked, the Most High tells you over and over, it's repetitive in his book, to get the from the midst of you. He tells you that over and over because it's like a cancer and it'll spread through everybody. And then when we all be wicked, wondering what happened. So I think it's amazing that we desire this, but we have to be ready to fight for it. We have to be ready to, in some ways, kill, like starve, whatever we have to do, fast, pray, spiritually just incline ourselves with the Most High, and then he will send the right people amongst us. We can't go looking for the righteous because sometimes we're going to find this little bit of righteousness and that's what we're going to focus on. But the mass of them is not righteous. We have to allow the Most High to bring us all together, because I'm sure there are other people who have the same mindset, the same desire, the same heartfelt yearn to be amongst others like them. And they probably going through the same things as we are. And we just have to be patient. We can't rush it. We just got to continue the work that he has placed on our hands, in our hands, and on our feet, and do it. And we'll find each other. And so many, we see it so often. People find each other. People find the places they need to be. And I think it would be a blessing for our children to be able to see this and to be able to continue this path, because they're crying out. They're hurting from what they see us doing. And in the midst of them hurting, if we don't get it together, how do we expect them to get it together? And then their children not going to get it together. So it's like, it's on us. You know what I mean? It's really on us, because we yearn it so bad. And we've gone through a lot of the pain that we're talking about. But if we just be like, oh yeah, I really want it, but we don't continue to work, we don't fight for it, then why do we even deserve it? It's something I said before. Why do we deserve a blessing that the Most High gave us if we just going to sit here and toss it up in the air and kind of brag about it? We're not humble with the blessing. We don't know. We're not taking that blessing and spreading that blessing amongst others who are not blessed, or who are striving to be blessed. We have to be better. And I mean, it's heartbreaking when I hear, like I said it before, when I overhear my children in their conversations with other Israelite youth, and the complaining that they're saying, it's all true, and it's sad, because it's like all they talk about is like these elders just have respect to persons. So they're not gonna pull the rug from one another. They're not gonna tap each other on the shoulder and say, "Hey man, you doing wrong. Hey sis, you doing wrong," because they respect each other too much, more than they respect the Creator. While these children are yearning for somebody to show them to be respectful to the Creator first and foremost, because we have Shabbat class every Shabbat teaching them this, but then we live in it in a whole different way. To me, it's like, I don't want to go and be amongst none of them Shabbat classes, because basically we're lying to ourselves, we're lying to our children, and there's no hope for the future if this is how we're going to do. So we, especially us who live here, who this is what we desire so badly, we have to fight for it. And that means we have to be ready, take up arms in whatever way we have to. But spiritually, most importantly, and then everything else, the Most High is going to show us which way we have to go. We got to be like Caleb and Joshua. We have to stand on righteousness. We got to be able to walk into these places and tell the truth and not be afraid because everybody else around us is doing the wrong thing. We got to stand out, like what they say, that sore thumb or whatever they call it. We have to be that. We can't be like everybody else. We can't be followers. We can't be sheep. We got to be leaders. We got to be the head. So, just thinking about all of that, and, even hearing my daughter's conversation today, it's like, yeah, it's pitiful. And I get tired of hearing her talk about it, because it's like they're not seeing nothing different. And until we really do something different, they're not going to see it. So we got to really do something different.
And the Most High be praised. The only thing that I'm hearing is all good words, but I'm hearing you all looking for the future tense. All y'all saying what it could be, what it can be. It's already here. We're already doing it. It's already here. And we have to command it with our voice and our speech and through our actions, because we are already that community right here. We're just small. But like you said, when the Most High blesses us with the right individuals, the right spirits to come in, to be in the midst of us, they're going to be ones that are compatible. And if they're not, they'll be removed. It's just that simple. But it's already here. The opportunity is open for the world. All those who call themselves by the name of Israel, they all have an opportunity to do this. It's really about what they desire to do. Because most of us just talking that talk, but we're not really ready to walk that walk. And that walk is what it's all about. We comfortable living the way we live and where we live and having the neighbors we got. We comfortable with that. We just only talk for us. For a lot of us, it's just talk. How many of us are really going to make that sacrifice? Get up, pack up, and drop down on some land with people who think like you think, who worship the Most High like you say you want to worship the Most High, and doing the things that book say we're supposed to be doing. How many people are really ready to take on that challenge? Not a lot of us. Not a lot of us. But what I would like to say before we close out is I'd like to commend those people who are still here, because it's Shabbat been over almost an hour now, and we still got several people still up here in the room, and that's commendable. It's commendable. You're exchanging information, you're still here, you're listening, and you're being fed. May the Most High bring you an extra blessing just for that reason. Anybody else wish to comment, question? Any other questions or any comments? Any other questions or comments, family?
Okay.
Come see.
Shalom again.
Yeah.
I had a question that I put into the chat, the private chat earlier, regarding a comment that you had made when we were doing our commandments. And I just wanted to bring it public to get some clarity and get your opinion on it, get everyone's opinion on it. But you had made a comment about certain even Israelite camps, congregations, and the Black-owned congregations that like Black Wall Street. And my question is, a lot of these Black communities that were built that had gotten to a certain height, being successful, we all know that, well, I can't just say in the absolute that none of those people there were serving the Creator, but let's just assume that majority of those people were not serving the Creator. They were still serving the deity that the slave master had given us. And so my question is, how was it that they were able to reach certain heights of successfulness? You know, Black Wall Street was, we still hear about it to this day. Unlike some of these other affluent communities that were probably as successful, you know what I'm saying, that we don't really hear about. But how was it that they were able to be so successful without necessarily being in alignment or serving the Creator?
Are you ready? That wasn't for you, sis. Is that the total of your question?
Okay.
All right. The answer to that is real simple. They followed the simple principles of building. The Jewish man followed those principles. Our people followed them back then. The Greeks follow those principles. And if you look right now, you'll see a lot of the Mexicans and Puerto Ricans following those principles. And every one of those people are starting to prosper. One of the most simplest things that you can do when you're building and you want to be prosperous and great is that your money has to circulate within you 10, 15, 20 times. And if you can get your money to circulate within your community 10, 15, 20 times, you're doing great. That's the problem with the Black communities, people of color. We don't support each other. We don't help each other. And then the people of us who have Black businesses, what we do with the wealth, we got to raise the price up so high because we're not getting the same prices that a lot of those products everybody else is getting. We got to pay more for them because we are who we are. So we got to charge a little bit more sometimes. But in essence, a lot of our people are not supporting Black businesses. So what you should begin to do is support Black businesses. But basically, they followed those principles. Do you know that the money circulated in Tulsa, Oklahoma, around 18 times before it left the community? And most of the time, it never left the community. Other people was coming to us. The white people who used to live in Tulsa had to buy from us for their survival. They didn't like that. They go to the movies, they go into our movies. They go to the mall to buy, they was buying from us. They didn't like that. So they was destined to try to do something to destroy us. That's where the Most High's protection come in. See, it's easy for us. It's not easy for us today because our minds are lost. But it's something that we can accomplish today when people really come together in the community. You got a shoe shop. You got a grocery store. You got a hospital. We got the house of worship. This person over here raised sheep. This one over here raised cattle. This person over here got horses as a hobby on the side. Well, when you need that money gets exchanged with all of those different people, it stays in the community. We don't have to go to the supermarket to spend our money. Now all the money we get, it stays right here. We don't have to pay the electric company. We got solar. We don't have to pay the water company because we got wells. We own our houses, so we're not paying for a mortgage. You follow what I'm saying? So therefore, all the money you got, it stays within the community. If we want to get insurance, we use Black people to get our insurance through. Black companies, Black organizations who have insurance companies. You follow me?
Okay.
We got to stay within ourselves, and that's not what we do. We don't do that. We soon as you know how many times is the black dollar circulate in the Black community? 0.01. Almost never. If you ain't buying crack, you ain't buying nothing. You ain't buying crack or weed, you ain't getting nothing in the Black communities. Because we ain't spending money with our own people. But what we do is, that's how Black Wall Street got big. That's how Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's how they got big, because the money, they had everything you needed. You didn't have to go anywhere for anything. And if we do that right now, and we focus on that right now, that 110 acres of land, we got everything we need right there on that land. We ain't got to spend the money nowhere. But the difference would be that we build that foundation off of righteousness. And we're still going to be moving off of righteousness. I pray that y'all understand. But since that's your answer to the question, there are basic rules and principles to being successful. I'm not talking about playing the lottery tickets. I'm talking about ways of making money so that your finances can grow. And it's not about how much money you make. A lot of people say that it's about how much money you make. No, it's about how much you can retain. It's about how much of the money you can retain, because if you make $50 a day and you retain 49 of that dollars, then that's going to accumulate every day. Then you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do with that money to make more money for you? Because that's one of the questions. Now, if you got a business, then you can open up your business and that money will go to work for you through your business. You got to stock your inventory. You got to buy your building. You got to do a lot of things. But you make money, save money, and make that money that you save work for you. That's what you got to do. So that's how they were so successful. And it wasn't that they were all evil or wicked people. That's not the issue. So don't think that for a minute, y'all. It don't mean that our people was evil and wicked. It doesn't.
So it's safe to say that because we were able to, because the Most High allowed us to be able to reach a certain stature of success for this land, but because we still weren't necessarily serving the Creator, we were left open still to the curses of the people around us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I teach you how to ride a bike, right? And you ride that bike and you see you got it now and you riding that bike. Well, the principles that I taught you how to ride the bike is what you have to maintain riding the bike. And that's what helps you take you further and further and further, those principles. But if you forget the principle of pedaling and yet you want to ride a bike, the only way you're going to do that is to get to a hill and ride down a hill and lift your feet up. But if you get on flat land and you don't pedal, you ain't going nowhere. There's principles to becoming wealthy. But the problem is our people don't want to listen to those principles. Like, don't spend your money on things you don't need. That's priority number one. Do not spend your money on things you don't need. We're too busy trying to have fun. We're too busy trying to look good, trying to impress people. We're too busy in those areas. And that's why a lot of us are broke, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Mike got a new car, so I got to get a new car. Mike got a new jet, so I got to get a new jet. I see my kids got clean shoes on, so my kids need on clean and new shoes like my kids. A lot of us live like that, and that's not how it's supposed to be. There's a lot of things you can learn from the nations, but don't envy them and don't try to be like them. And that's where we go wrong. We too worldly. And a lot of people, we got to go on vacation. Why? You ain't even got money for nothing. You barely can pay your bills. Why are you going on vacation? We don't do nothing but sit around the house all day and read a book. Go walk around the block. I'm saying when you get a little extra cash, then you can go ahead and do a little bit. But every time you get cash, you spending it, and it don't come back to you or anybody that look like you. It goes to them. And that's part of our problem. And that's why our nation don't prosper. We one of the richest nations in the planet, populations of people. I believe we spend over $20 billion a year on things, but only less than 1% of that comes back to the Black community. And that's sad. We got to do better, family. We got to do better. We got to do better. May the Most High be praised. Were there any other questions or comments? Are there any other questions or comments? All right, so stop spending your money on things you don't need. You know, I got this one person came to me the other day telling me how he need a job. He ain't making no money. He want to work to get some money. And I spoke to the brother. 2 or 3 days later, he on vacation with his woman somewhere. Yo, bro, didn't you just tell me you ain't got no money? Oh yeah, she paid for this. She could have used that money and helped you to make some more money. But we don't think like that. But all the other nations do. You see rich people, and I'm going to leave this alone in a minute, but right now I got to dog y'all out. So we need to know. You see wealthy people. What's that? What's one of the? Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, right? When you see Warren Buffett, you would never know he had the amount of money that he got. He don't have the flashiest clothes. He ain't got the flashiest car. You know? His haircut ain't even flashy. You would never know the man was as wealthy as he was. Rich people, really rich people, you wouldn't even really know they were rich. Poor people, you know they poor, but you would never be able to know because they look rich. Rich people spend their money and invest their money, and they look poor. But poor people spend their money and don't invest their money, and they look rich. The average dude in the hood is paying $200 and $300 for a pair of jeans, if not more. I've seen these little children with what's that boy? What's his name? Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Sneakers on. Yeah, Kanye West sneakers. They $700. They $800. But everybody in the hood got them. But we poor. Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? We got to stop wasting our money on things we don't need. The average price for a pair of sneakers anywhere from $50 to $100. The average price for a pair of sneakers, some decent sneakers. You ain't got to have the first thing that come out, the best. I was watching this documentary the other day, or watching this news report. I don't even remember what it was. About 2 weeks ago, when this black guy hit the lottery. $30,000 he won at the lottery. He went out and bought a gold chain. Gold chain cost $20-something thousand. He went out and bought a gold chain for $20-something thousand. And the very next day, somebody snatched it off his neck. So that money was just out the door. It was just gone. $20-something thousand for a gold chain. You just won the lottery for $30,000. And then you walk out the door and somebody snatch it and it's gone. Wasn't worth it. We got to wake up, family. We can do it. We got the money. We got the money. We just got to stop wasting our money. We got to spend our money wisely. And not enough of us do that. Not enough of us do it. You know, a lot of parents, they want to spoil their children, so they're always going out. But they really ain't got the money to do it. So don't do it. You can barely pay your bills, but yet, soon as your child's birthday come around, soon as your child graduate from school, soon as your child say, Ima, Abba, I want, what do? We go out and do it, knowing we don't have it to do it with. And it's not good. And then we wonder why we broke. And this is a reality that we're going through, family. We spoil our children. Horribly spoil our children. And then they grow up disrespecting us in the end. And then you ask yourself, why did I do all that? European people, not all of them, but some of them, they teach their children the discipline of money in a young age. We don't do that with our children. We don't teach our children the true value of wealth. We don't. Like I brought my children piggy banks and had them saving money. Every day they were supposed to put $1 in. Y'all remember this? Put a penny in it every day. Y'all remember this? Y'all doing this? How many of y'all doing this today? Put a penny in that piggy bank every day. A lot of us don't do things like that. A lot of us, we get change, we throw it away. Throw it in the street. Man, I ain't walking around with no change. I got a whole jar full of change in there, probably worth $200-$300 in there. A whole jar of change. Because when I get off of work and I put my change on the dresser, I scoop the change up and put it in a jug. There's a big giant jug sitting next to my bed with change in it. Yeah, you want to tell them about how you hit my change jar? That's what you're thinking about?
What?
You thinking about it?
You have my own change jar. Thank you.
Say what?
I have my own change jar.
Yeah, okay. One day I was up here in the house and she hit my change jar.
What are you talking? When was this?
You probably remember. So long ago, you probably
I don't know who you talking about. It ain't me.
all spread out on the floor.
What?
I took such dollars out of here. I'm going to go do such. How can you argue with it? You can't argue with it. All right, babe. No problem.
What?
Yeah, I remember that day. A long time ago.
Okay.
All right. All right, family, we're going to close it out now. I don't think there's any more questions or comments, are there? All right. Who want to close us out with prayer today? Anyone? Now, let's keep in mind, family, if anything was said today that touched your spirit, you should probably pay attention to it. You should probably let it resonate in your spirit, make prayer on it, and see what the Most High has for you to do. Okay? If there's anything from today's lessons that you learned that you can take with you, please, so that you can help somebody else to learn how to serve the Creator and how to draw closer to Him, and turn from their behaviors if that behavior is unseemly of a righteous person. All right. Now you all have time to think about it. Would any of you like to close us out in prayer? Did we get a volunteer to close us out with prayer?
I can.
Okay. Go ahead, Sidney.
Our Most High, Ha Elohim, the mightiest power, we ask permission and we humble ourselves and we beg permission to approach unto your throne. Creator in our most highest power, Creator of all that is, was, and shall be, we thank you. We thank you because everything belongs to you, honors you, and gives your high holy name praise. We thank you for the lesson that was brought out today, this Shabbat, your holy Shabbat, talking about your Ruach HaKodesh and how we can better serve you through your spirit and utilize your spirit and listening to your spirit. We thank you for Prince Israel and Chief Shema for both of their lessons and the things that they brought forth to the people today. Thank you for allowing the people that came on our class, whether it be through StreamYard or Facebook or YouTube. Thank you for allowing it to be. Thank you for being with us with this group of people. We pray that your Ruach HaKodesh please not leave us. Please, please forgive us of our many sins, our forefathers, our families, in ignorance and knowingly, Father. We are desperate for your forgiveness, and please give us the strength to turn away from our wicked ways permanently so that we can best serve you and just give you our best each and every day. Most High, Ha Elohim, we ask for your protection throughout this night. Please allow us to be protected spiritually, mentally, and physically as we are getting ready for the evening and laying our heads down. Please keep us. Please keep us and allow us to wake up in Boker to praise your name once again and just do it all over again. And another chance, we pray for another chance to show you our loyalty and our love for you. We thank you for who you are, for your mercy, your love and kindness, your righteous judgments, and the plenty of opportunities you have given us. Please bless us, Father, and keep us. And with that, we all say, Toda Rabbah, to you, Most High, Ha Elohim, Toda Rabbah.
All right, family. We're going to close it out now. May the Most High be praised. Now, if you're listening to this audio or video at a later time, you can always type in the room, and someone will be responding to your question or comments that you may have about the class or anything else that's pertaining to trying to serve the Creator. If you have just general questions of your own, may the Most High be with you all. Creator willing, we'll see you all next week. Shalom, shalom, Shabbat, shalom. May the Most High be praised.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.